Last week, we started the journey. One game, one win. And not just any win, a shutout. The kind of performance that truly makes a statement.
Boys, that's what we like to do.
But now, that road takes us north. 100 miles up the Turner Turnpike. A trip we've made before, sure, but never like this. For the first time in the regular season, we step onto their field, the home of the Lincoln Christian Bulldogs, our greatest new rival. This rivalry, it has history. It has tested us. It has demanded our very best. Every snap, every drive, every play. Because rivalries, they just do something different. They bring out the fight. They bring out the resilience. They bring out who we truly are. And this one is special because this time we walk into their house, their stands, their lights. And tonight, in front of their crowd, it is our turn to rise, our turn to answer. It's our turn to show the state of Oklahoma what Heritage Hall football is made of. We are not here to simply participate. We are here to dominate. We are not here to bow down. We are here to conquer. Tonight, the rivalry continues, and we will write the next chapter together. Relentless, strong, and unstoppable. Charger Nation, we need you. We need you to be the lightning strike heading up the turnpike. You know what's next. Come on. Here we go. Coming to you from Dennis Byrd Stadium and Willie George Field on the campus of Lincoln Christian High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is Heritage Hall football.
1, 2, 3, step right.
of Lincoln Christian High School. We're here at Dennisburg Stadium, Willie George Field. Such an honor to have a special guest today in Caleb Kalsich. And Caleb, class of 22, and how's the world treating you now?
It's going well, living the dream of doing this at Kansas. Radio side a little bit different, but the opportunity that Mr. Steelman gave me and everyone else at ChargerVision, I can't think more about getting the opportunity to do that today.
Caleb, it is so good to have you, and it's such a pleasure. Caleb is a sports management and broadcast major at the University of Kansas, and Caleb's been doing some KU football and some softball and some baseball, and we're going to talk about all of that at halftime. We're going to find out everything that Caleb's been going through. But hey, buddy, good to have you here. Thank you for joining us tonight. And with that, we're going to get right to our Nix Patterson feature player of the game. Featured player of the game for Heritage Hall tonight is David Griffin. And Caleb, what do you think about David? And tell me some thoughts on David here as we get this game going.
As Coach Bogert described him, he is one of the smartest players on the field for the Chargers. He is the leader. He communicates, gets the defense set, and he will be a key factor in shutting down this Lincoln Christian running game on the front seven. Going to be one of the toughest offenses he's going to face all season long, but there's a reason he's voted on by his captain, or voted on teammates for be a captain.
David Griffin is one of those. He leads the offensive line. He is he is pivotal on our front seven in stopping the Lincoln Christian running game tonight. Last week, David Griffin against Clinton, 6 tackles, 2 solos, 3 for a loss. And so, boy, Caleb, that game last week against Clinton, that's one of those games where we saw Heritage Hall dominate both sides of the ball at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to have to be done again tonight against this Lincoln Christian squad.
Well, absolutely. We saw Lincoln Christian. They put up points as well. Defenses for both these teams are stout. They both pitched a shutout. Something's going to have to give, you think. Both teams cannot replicate what they did last week. We could have a low-scoring game. We're going to have a high-scoring game. It's going to be, can Heritage Hall win the battle of the trenches? That's going to be the story of this game tonight.
Absolutely. And we were laughing about that. Now that you mention it, we were laughing about that earlier and said, we have no idea what this game's going to be, because typically between these two teams, Caleb, you get these high-flying, high-scoring offenses. But on this one, Heritage Hall did not even give up a completed pass last week to Clinton. And then, of course, Lincoln Christian playing victory 63-0. Both of us pitched a shutout. So stepping up in the competition for both teams, but we don't know what to expect.
No, we don't. And, even with these programs so familiar with each other playing the past couple years, there's a lot of unknowns. And we're going to find a lot of questions. It's a great opportunity to learn about these teams, especially 2 state championship frontrunners playing in a non-district game early in the season.
Does it get any better
than that? It does not.
That's what you want to see. And actually, this is the first time that Heritage Hall has ever been to Lincoln Christian in a regular season game. Lincoln Christian came to the Pop last year and was able to escape there with a victory. So returning the favor right now on as far as the home and home goes in the regular season. So you've got a good game in store. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. You're watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
Joe Cooper Ford has 3 Ford dealerships around the metro to serve Oklahoma better than anyone else. What does having 3 of the best Ford dealerships in the state mean for you? It means 3 times the selection and 3 times the savings, and that's 3 times the service. And Joe guarantees to beat any price in Oklahoma by $500, or he'll give you $10,000. That's why Joe beats the competition 3-1. I love Joe, Oklahoma.
The elite always work to get better. So every day, we dedicate ourselves to being the best orthopedic surgeons in the country, committed to helping you be your best. No matter where you are or the obstacles you face, we never give up, because it's too important to you and the communities we serve. And for that reason, Saints march on.
Welcome back to Lincoln Christian. Heritage Hall and Lincoln Christian just about to get started and get underway here. We are high atop the scoreboard on the home side of the field, so you're going to see the wind and hear the wind whipping around. It's about 60 degrees out here. We thought there would be a breezy evening at about 15% or 15 miles an hour on the wind. I'm going to tell you what, it's double that right now.
It has to be. It's very windy up here. Could cause some problems maybe for the passing game.
That's exactly right. It is blowing and going, and we're going to get right after it. Let's talk about a little bit about our Joe Cooper Auto Group keys to victory tonight for Heritage Hall. Caleb?
Well, you got to read the keys on defense. You got to be able to find the matchup exploits because Lincoln Christian's really good. You're going to have to take advantage. They're not going to give you anything. 11 guys to the ball, can't miss an open field tackle. You got to swarm the receiver, running back, whoever has the football, and keep your composure. Can't get pre-snap penalties. Can't get anything like that. You got to stay on schedule. That's the tough stuff in these type of games. You got to stay and keep your composure.
And, you know, this is one of those we talk about this, and you and I were talking about it earlier. Lincoln Christian's too good to give them anything, you know, and those pre-snap penalties, and, you know, obviously we know turnovers are always going to be a factor when we come into games like this, so we're going to have to play a clean game. You know, something else that we talk about is, you know, there's always this thing about passing the eye test, right? You see teams get off the bus, or you see teams warming up when they're on the field, and sometimes you look out across the field and there's just not a whole lot there, and you just don't really have a thing that's going to affect us. But I'll tell you what, right? They're practicing. The fighter jets are above us. We thought there was a flyover happening here at Lincoln Christian, but there is an Air National Guard right around here. So anyway, with that being said, I'll tell you what, I was watching Lincoln Christian on the field before this game, and Caleb, there's some talent. There's some skill running around down there.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of talent matching in this one. And you're going to have to find, weaknesses maybe in scheming up players to get open, maybe stunts on the defense to get pressure on the quarterback. The talent level is about the same here. You're not going to overpower the team, maybe as we saw last week. You're going to have to trust what your offense and defense do to win this game.
And there's Heritage Hall taking the field. Beautiful night for some football, breezy, but boy, we're getting into this fall football weather right now. Expected contributors tonight for Lincoln Christian. Number 2, Brett Gasky, 6'2", 191-pound wide receiver, defensive back. He's the strong target in the pass game, and boy, that offense starts and ends with number 8, Carter Rickey. He's their quarterback, 6'1", 190 pounds. Quarterback, defensive back. He is the field general, and he's a runner too. He's a kid with a big arm and can move around.
Well, absolutely. The worst offenses to face the defense is a quarterback that can run, because you're always worrying about will he take off. You got to respect the run, and the one play you think you can get away with and don't, he's going to take off, maybe go for 30 yards. So that is going to be a challenge for Heritage Hall. You got to make sure he stays in the pocket.
Carter Rickey last week, 9 for 12, 209 yards versus Victory Christian, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. So it's going to be a big thing for Heritage Hall to contain Carter Rickey. Number 11, C.J. Wright, 5'9", 161 running back. Braden Baker, Hudson Ferris, number 28. Now, interesting about number 28, Hudson Ferris, is you're going to hear this name all night long. That's because our starting quarterback is also Hudson Ferris. So, hey, I know one of us are going to get that mixed up somehow.
It's going to happen.
It's hard to miss, though, you know?
It's going to happen.
So there is a Hudson Ferris for Lincoln Christian, of course, and he is an impact player for them. He's been around for a long time. He's a senior. He's their number 1 wide receiver target. And then also look for expected contributors. Number 44, Rain Ragland, 6 foot, 247 pounds. So Lincoln Christian has won the toss and deferred. So Heritage Hall will receive the kickoff starting momentarily here in about 30 seconds. And Caleb, let's what do we have to do right out of the gate here? And we've talked about keys to victory, but it's so important to set a tempo right now.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You got to set the tone early. You got to put together a good drive here. Maybe it doesn't lead to points, but you can't have a quick 3 and out. Give Lincoln Christian all the momentum. You have to stay in a drive. Keep your offense on the field for a while. Allow the defense to get ready for their opportunity.
So here we go, Klein Reuter. Deep to receive for the Chargers, along with Gerard Williams, number 3, Gerard Williams last week. Nice game. 2 receptions. Kind of a quiet game for Gerard. 2 receptions, 13 yards, but he always has that explosive opportunity. Once he gets the ball in his hands, you never know what's going to happen, and there's an opportunity to always break it. So that's going to be a touchback. We are underway here. Game number 2, big game. Number 1, Lincoln Christian. Number 2, Heritage Hall. Look for our starting lineups. That's going to be Cannon Bronson. Hudson Ferris starting at quarterback tonight. Nash Iser in the backfield. Andrick Golden, Bullock, Leclerc, Griffin, our player of the game, and Godwin. Rounding out the starting lineup is Gerard Williams, Rhett Davis, and Porter England. Porter England with a nice night last week against Clinton. Just not, I wouldn't say it's out of nowhere, but 7 receptions for 92 yards, 29-yard long. Hudson Ferris gets out there to Gerard Williams, and we just talked about him. Nice play, nice tackle on the play, and that is going to be Hudson Ferris on the tackle for Lincoln Christian.
That's a play you're going to see a lot from both these teams. Those quick wide receiver screens want to get it to their playmakers. Gerard Williams, like we talked about, he's the focus of this defense. So Porter England last week took advantage of that, got open against the Clinton defense.
6 yards on the play, Hudson to Williams. The give here is to Max Everett, trying to get outside. He's met by a host of Lincoln Christian defenders. Max Everett last week, 9 carries, 60 yards on the ground, had a nice performance coming out. Heritage Hall did not return many yards in that backfield from last year, and so actually the leading rusher coming into the game last week was Hudson Ferris with 100 and some odd yards. So it was good to see Max Everett get out there and get some yards in chunks, and so that's going to be no gain on the play. That's going to bring us to 3rd and 4. Ball on the 27-yard line, just underway here in Tulsa at Lincoln Christian, and Hudson Ferris is going to be dropped for a loss, and that is going to be Lincoln Torres, number 52, the big defensive lineman for Lincoln Christian, and that's going to bring the first punt for Heritage Hall.
Bulldogs brought a blitz there. We were trying to run a little play action, a little pump fake, get Williams open down the field, and Lincoln Christian was just all over it. So quick 3 and out for the Chargers.
Good, strong defense early on for Lincoln Christian. Back to punt is Luke Butler. Nice punt. Hits out about the 50-yard line and gets a good Heritage Hall bounce. So that's going to be a game-changing on the field position. So good job right there, and that's going to be 31-yard line is where Lincoln Christian is going to take over on their first possession of the game.
It's a great punt. This is going to be one of those games where the field position battle is a massive one. So being able to flip the field like that, put Lincoln Christian in reasonable starting distance is what you want out of your special teams unit.
Starting defense for Heritage Hall, Golden, Griffin, and Davis up front. Got Reuter, Echok, Phelps, Waddell, and Iser. And then rounding out the defensive secondary, Okego, England, and Gerard Williams. Carter Rickey for Lincoln Christian. They go deep right off the bat, and that ball is off the fingertips of Hudson Ferris, number 28. He was covered on the play by Nash Iser. You see that arm strength right there by Rickey, and they're not afraid to use it.
They are not. I mean, first play, they're going for the end zone. It was a go route from his slot receiver, and just a drop. Rickey put it in a perfect spot for his receiver. Only he could have gotten to that ball.
That is their number 1 target, too, in Hudson Ferris. So very sure-handed Hudson Ferris. So that brings us to 2nd and 10, second play of the drive for the Bulldogs, and they get outside on the run, and he's got the corner. He's up to the 50, down up to the 30-yard line, or down to the 30-yard line, and he's ran out of bounds by Okego. But we do have a flag on the play. We're going to be a holding on Lincoln Christian, so this ball's coming back. Flag sitting at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, Lincoln Christian's got speed. If they get out and they were able to run, they can now run you, but a little holding call aided the running back to get open there.
Nice play by Lincoln Christian, but it is negated by a holding call as the infraction will be marked off against the Bulldogs.
Spot foul, 10 yards from the spot.
So that is going to be a spot foul. That ball is going to be moved all the way back to the 21-yard line of the Bulldogs. Going to bring up a 2nd and 19 here for Lincoln Christian. First possession of the game. We're just underway. Nice crowd still making their way into the stadium tonight. Some tough numbers to read from up here, Caleb.
Just a little bit.
You've got those younger eyes, though. So Rickey drops back, looks to his right, now back to his left, and he's in pursuit by Rhett Davis, and he is hit hard along the sidelines, and that's going to be a big loss. Rhett Davis, number 34, sniffed out that screen pass in the flats and dropped the Lincoln Christian back for a big loss right there.
Just great discipline from Rhett Davis, the entire Chargers defensive line. With mobile quarterbacks, I like to not play where it's a misdirection screen, rolling them out, throw it across the body, and have blockers set up. Rhett Davis was all over that play, and this sets up a third and very long.
One of Coach Bogert's keys to victory was reading the keys on defense. This is the defense and the relenting pressure that we saw last week against Clinton. Heritage Hall starting off the same way. Now it's going to be a 3rd and 32 for the Bulldogs, deep in their own territory, a ball at the 9-yard line. Ricky rolls out and then just a handoff to the running back there. Nice little play call there by Coach Ricky.
C.J. Wright's the ball carrier.
That was C.J. Wright on the carry.
It was a weird option play. It was kind of what was equivalent to a speed option, but a handoff. It was a mobile handoff, misdirection. That's where you get a lot from the Lincoln Christian offense. It was a big gain, but they're still 12 or so yards short.
Jackson Echok running on here for the Chargers. Ricky back to punt. Carter Ricky handling all of the punting duties for Lincoln Christian. The punt is away. It bounces at the 39. Gerard Williams I thought he was going to let it go. Then he decided to come up and field it. He did touch it, but that ball is out of bounds. So Heritage Hall will start their second possession on their own 24-yard line, looking to get some good momentum going here on the offensive side of the ball.
1st and 10 Chargers.
So we talked about, we don't know if it's going to be an offensive shootout. The last 6 games here against these two teams have, fallen for the victors for Lincoln Christian. And in some of them, 56 points, total points, 48, 76, 47. So it's almost like a tell of each 2 games every other year right now.
It is, and, maybe we're both offenses feeling out the defenses early, seeing what they can get.
So Heritage Hall with the ball on the 24-yard line, and the keeper is Hudson Ferris right up the middle. He's hit hard by the Lincoln Christian defender, but not until it was good enough for a Heritage Hall first down. The first down of the game for the Chargers.
Yeah, that was a play that was set up earlier on the previous drive by the wide receiver screen, fake to both sides, and a QB design run up the middle for 11 yards.
We didn't see much of that last week, so a good play call there by Coach Bogert and the staff. The ball all the way up now to the 36-yard line. Rhett Davis in the backfield. Full house backfield there. The give is to Max Everett, looking for some space. Short gain on the play of 1.
Frank Baker with the stop. Gain of 1 on the play.
Interesting formation. We hadn't seen that one yet this year.
Yeah, a little misdirection. Whatever you can do to confuse the defense, try to maybe get them out of their alignments. Lincoln Christian was disciplined on that play and just shot the gaps.
Last week, Lincoln Christian 63-0 over Victory Christian. Heritage Hall with a 30-0 victory over Clinton. Battle of the big boys right here tonight. Great atmosphere for football as Hudson Ferris is looking, trying to get outside. Tries to lower his shoulder, and he is tripped up. He's hung on by, that was number 24, Isaac Beazle. Looked like Hudson Ferris had a little bit of green and real estate in front of him there for a moment, but unable to escape the clutches of the Bulldog defender. So this is going to bring a 3rd and 6 for Heritage Hall on the 37-yard line.
Looking down the right side, I think he was looking for Gerard Williams. And they're doing right now, Lincoln Christian doing a great job of keeping him in check. But you're absolutely right. He had green grass, and it quickly just went away as he took off.
Walker Riddell in the backfield with Hudson Ferris. Porter England in motion. Ferris dropping, looking. Oh, he's a lot of pressure in the face. He gets the ball out to Gerard Williams. We're going to have a right foot, left foot spot here. That is right on the line, and they are going to indicate that is another first down for Heritage Hall.
What an absolutely great throw by Ferris. Stood in the pocket, got hit as the pressure was coming, and delivered a dime to Gerard Williams for the first down.
We saw that last week as well out of Hudson Ferris. He had some pressure in his face, and as he was going down, right before he hits the ground, he's able to get the ball out to Gerard Williams for a first down similar to this. So that's going to be second first down for Heritage Hall on the move. Ball at the 46-yard line, trying to mount a offensive drive here. The fake end around, and they're looking for Gerard Williams deep, and that's going to be a flag on the play, and I believe it was still completed. No, the ball is on the ground. I think if there was a flag for 3 pass interferences on one play, I think 3 flags would be sitting on the ground.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think he got pass interference by at least 2 different defenders. Ball was under, the wind just stop that ball. And as Williams was trying to come back to that, all over. It was an easy pass interference, and he almost still made the catch.
There was a handful of jersey grabbed early on, and then as you said, as that ball was held up in the wind and Gerard was trying to come back to it, that was an easy call for the official right in front of the official. So that moves Heritage Hall into Bulldog territory. Ball sitting at the 39-yard line. It's been Hudson Ferris all the way so far in this game. We expect to also see Tegan Lawson in this game. Hudson Ferris started last week against Clinton as well and was kind of back and forth in a platoon position situation with Tegan Lawson. Ferris looking for somebody, looking for Gerard Williams out there, just throws it away.
Yeah, a little misdirection, sitting Everett out in the backfield. From the Lincoln Christian sideline, they wanted an illegal procedure on Everett. They wanted to say that he was going before the snap. Official said he was good, but just throw it away, reset for second down here from Hudson Ferris.
Max Everett out of the game. Nash Iser now in the backfield with Hudson Ferris. 2nd and 10, Heritage Hall on the move. This drive started out about the 21-yard line of the Chargers. 2 first downs and then penalty, first down by penalty, and the give is to Iser. And a nice little move cutting back in a seam. Nash Iser last week, nice game as well. 10 carries, 26 yards.
Stop for the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
so this.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Justin. It's just a nice carry. Haven't had success running straight up the middle, moving the pocket, getting him outside. Got a decent gain of around 5 or 6.
So here we go. Big third down possession. Big third down right here for Heritage Hall. 3rd and 5. Ball down to the 34-yard line. As the Lincoln faithful making some noise. The fake and the give is to Gerard trying to get around the corner. He's got the speed. If he gets the corner, he's trying to turn up. At the sideline, this is going to be about 1.5 yards or 2 yards short of the first down. We've watched Coach Bogert for many years here in these situations, and 9 times out of 10, this is a 4-down territory for Heritage Hall.
Oh, absolutely. We saw that play that Williams just got last week. He took it for about 30 yards. But this sets up a big 4th down in the opening quarter.
Very nice lateral pursuit right there by the Bulldog defenders. So Heritage Hall's offense is on the field. 4th and 2, big 4th down play. Rhett Davis spread wide. Walker Waddell in the backfield with Hudson Ferris. Waddell with some tough 4th down pickups last week, and this is going to be tough. Timeout. This is going to be Coach Bogert's going to take a timeout right here. But we saw the big package come in for Walker Waddell last week at the goal line twice, and also on a couple of 4th down conversions. So I think this is kind of a package we're putting in there that's in these short situations like this.
And you called it right last week. It's very similar to the Belldozer package that Oklahoma had, but you're absolutely right. It's short yardage. You get a big physical running back in, and you just hope he can get through, get those 1 or 2 yards that he needs. But I think that timeout was kind of playing, see what Lincoln Christian was going to put on the field. Now you really get your play set for this crucial 4th down.
ChargerVision would like to thank 9th Street Parking Lot for their continued support. Visiting them online at 9thstreetparkinglot.com to schedule a BARK bus pickup. Coach Kyle Gillum looks forward to spoiling your pups at his first-class facility in downtown OKC. 9th Street Parking Lot, home of the BARK bus. So here we go. We're going to line it up again. Waddell still in the backfield with Hudson Ferris. Might look for Rhett Davis right here, tight end in motion. 4th and 2, Heritage Hall. Hudson looking for Rhett Davis as we suspected, and that ball just sails on him just a little bit. So that is going to be a turnover on downs on the 2nd possession here for the Chargers.
Had Davis open. I think this wind is giving Ferris some trouble of how much he needs to put underneath the football. It just seems that one kind of got away from him. It was a great play design, had Davis wide open in the flat.
We're looking at the flags, and we are high atop the stadium, and we can feel the wind up here, and it appears to be swirling a little bit on the field level as well, as that ball just kind of tailed away from Hudson Ferris. So this is going to be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. The give is to that back. Nice hard run. He was hit initially at the line of scrimmage, was able to escape the tackle, and that's a nice gain of about 9 on the play. That was number 12, Braden Baker. Okego on the tackle for Heritage Hall. So this is going to be a short 2nd and 1 here for the Bulldog offense. Braden Baker was one of our expected contributors. 6 foot, 192-pound running back. Wildcat situation now for the Bulldogs, trying to run right up the middle on that first down. It's a nice tackle there by Rhett Davis. I'm sorry, that was not Rhett Davis. Andrick Golden, I believe. Oh, yes, Andrick Golden instead, but that is going to be good enough for a Lincoln Christian first down.
Good for the Bulldogs. First down.
So 3 possessions so far, 2 possessions for Heritage Hall. One led to a punt and then a turnover on downs. 1 possession so far for Lincoln Christian. That resulted in a punt as well, and this is going to be a timeout, Lincoln Christian. Talk about things a little bit, and with that, a huge thank you to Stanley's Graduation, offering Jostens products and conveniently located in Edmond for all of your high school grad needs. Class rings, leather jackets, announcements, and championship rings. Celebrating moments that matter, Stanley's Graduation Services. Call or text them at 405-607-4343 or visit them at jostens.com. Willie, you pummeled by this wind yet?
You know, it has caused some problems in this one. If we see field goal attempts, that will also be a big – I mean, you never know. Points in this game could come at a premium, so that could cause problems in the kicking game as well.
So early on, both teams matched up. 5 minutes, 22 seconds here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for Lincoln Christian following the timeout. Ricky, design quarterback run, looking for space, and the ball is on the ground. Ball is on the ground, and it looks like Heritage Hall has it. First turnover of the game and first takeaway of the game for Heritage Hall, and that is number 51, Ayers Kurtz, with the recovery.
Just a great – it was a design QB run. We talked about it. Ricky is a mobile quarterback, but quarterbacks have a tendency of running with the football outside, not like a running where they tuck it in. And just great opportunity from the Chargers to knock it away and get a crucial turnover in this game, their 4th fumble recovery of the season.
We have seen this defense so far this year be absolute lockdown, one of the most locked down defenses I've seen in recent history for Heritage Hall. So let's see if now Hudson Ferris and this offense can capitalize on that. They give this to Max Everett up front. He's hit initially at the line of scrimmage, short gain on the play. Such an important key to games like this, big rivalry games like this, is if you can get those takeaways, Caleb.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing that makes them important is you have to capitalize. Points off turnovers in these type of games are a crucial stat, and Heritage Hall has to take advantage of getting a ball inside Lincoln Christian territory.
First turnover on the year for Lincoln Christian as well. This is going to be a 2nd and 9, ball sitting at the 42-yard line. Approaching late into the end of the first quarter here in a very good ball game. Give us to Max Everett. Up the middle again. Nice tackle there by Isaac Beasel for the Bulldogs. Isaac Beisel, excuse me. I called him Beasel, but that's okay. We'll get it right. So this is going to be a 3rd and 6 coming up for Heritage Hall. Ball sitting on the 42, ball sitting on the 39, and you would think, just like the last possession, this is 4 down territory all day long for Heritage Hall. Max Everett in the backfield with Hudson Ferris. Hudson Ferris all the way at quarterback right now, and he's looking for the receiver, Trip Thomas, in the boundary, and that ball sails high once again. You kind of see the effects of this wind happening on the field right now. That running game is going to become ever so important for both of these teams should these conditions stay as they are.
Absolutely, and it seems like Heritage Hall, as you said, is going to go for it.
So this is going to be the 2nd attempt for a 4th down conversion here so far. 2 in the last 2 possessions for Heritage Hall. This one 4th and 6. Max Everett off the field. Walker Waddell in the backfield once again. Ferris getting a lot of pressure as floats out, and that ball was attempted to get out there to Cannon Bronson, the tight end. And that had a pick 6 written all over it.
It absolutely did. Lincoln Christian brought a corner blitz, and it did not get picked up off the right side. And Ferris, having to escape, thought he had someone wide open. And that window quickly closed, and it almost cost the Chargers.
The Bulldog defender was not fooled by that. He broke before that ball was even released, and he had nothing but the end zone in his sights as the give is once again hit deep in the backfield. Gets away. Nice, quick, shifty runner right there. We've seen that a couple of times. We've played Lincoln Christian lately is, getting the initial push and getting the initial contact, but unable to wrap up the back.
Yeah, they are really good at running through contact. CJ right there with the carry. That's a couple times today even. We thought Heritage Hall had him in the backfield. They break free and they're shifty. They can get outside and take it down the sideline.
Been very impressed with CJ Wright, number 11 for the Bulldogs early on, and that's a big gain down to the Heritage Hall 37, 1st and 10, Lincoln Christian. The give is to the other running back going right up the middle, and he's tripped up by Walker Waddell. That was Braden Baker right there. So Lincoln Christian on the move, keeping the ball on the ground so that this wind-aided effect is not going to affect them, and so that's going to be another first down for Lincoln Christian. Ball down to the 37-yard line. Official timeout on the field. Looks like they're going to re-spot this ball a little bit. Now they have it set and we're ready to go. Down to 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 12 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Lincoln Christian threatening. The give is once again. Oh, and there's good. Give is once again. That was to C.J. Wright, but that ball is going to come back. They're going to get Lincoln Torres, number 52, there on the hold. So that touchdown run by Wright will be negated. It's never a good thing when those flags are thrown right at your feet.
No, absolutely not. But if you're Heritage Hall, you love to see it on those type of plays.
You don't mind seeing that on this side of the field. So actually, this is actually going to go the other direction. This is going to be a personal foul face mask on Heritage Hall. I completely missed that. I thought there was a hold there on the Lincoln Christian offensive tackle. But that is a personal foul face mask, and that ball is going to be at the 1 yard line for Lincoln Christian. I apologize.
First to go, Bulldogs.
Don't see a lot of face masks called on a non-ball runner.
This is one of those rivalries of respect. Two very classy, high-powered teams, very successful teams going at it. And that's going to be touchdown Lincoln Christian. Braden Baker over the left side, taking the direct snap. So Lincoln Christian takes advantage of the penalty down in the 1st and goal situation. It was a drive with big runs, chunk plays, all on the ground for Lincoln Christian. Moving between C.J. Wright and Braden Baker. So Lincoln Christian first on the board here tonight at Dennis Byrd Stadium. And the point after attempt by Ricky is good. Sorry, Ricky was the holder on that one. So after the point after, 7-0 Lincoln Christian. Boy, they just lined up and played some, just kind of controlled the line of scrimmage right there on that drive, Caleb.
Well, that was what Coach Boger talked about. The front seven is going to have to shut down the run game. The line of scrimmage is going to be the point of emphasis. Bulldogs were able to get a lot of push up front, a couple of big chunk gains on the grounds. And especially on a day where the pass game maybe not be as effective, you got to shut down the run, force Lincoln Christian to pass the ball.
Huge shout out to Heritage Hall faculty member Jennifer Huff for being named the 2025 Oklahoma History Teacher of the Year by the Gilder Lehman Institute recently. She does an amazing job in the history classroom and also guides students to produce the award-winning Cavalier Yearbook every year. Congratulations to Jennifer Huff on a fine accomplishment. 2 minutes, 56 seconds here in the first quarter. Lincoln Christian 7-0, scoring a touchdown on their 3rd possession of the game. That touchdown was a 1 yard run by Braden Baker.
First and 10.
So last two possessions for Heritage Hall, both of them ended in failed fourth down attempts following a punt on the first possession of the game. So let's see if Heritage Hall can get something going right here. They have sustained a couple of drives into Lincoln Christian territory, but unable to show anything with him. We've got a change at quarterback. Tegan Lawson. That ball was intended for Porter England, and you saw that one sell on Tegan just a little bit there as well.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to adjust to what the environments are giving you right now. I got to just settle down and get in your groove as a quarterback.
Like to see Heritage Hall get that running game going tonight too, because I think that's going to be an important part of the game, and we saw that running game come around against Clinton last week. So I know Coach Bogert would like to see that happen again tonight, especially in these conditions. So Tegan Lawson is in, first series of the game for Lawson. Dropping back, looking for an open receiver. He's flushed to his left. He finds Rhett Davis out there. A nice play. And that's going to be good enough for a Heritage Hall first down.
Rhett Davis is complete.
Is a flag down.
There is a flag back on the, thank you, Caleb. There is a flag back on the 14th, and that is going to be a holding call against the Chargers. Lawson was under heavy pressure. Did a great job getting out of the pocket and finding the tight end, Davis, coming across the middle. It was a nice game, but it will be negated by penalty. So that moves the ball for Heritage Hall back to the, looks like it will be spotted at right about the 10-yard line. This is going to be a 2nd and 20 coming up for the Charger offense. Three receivers to the right for Lawson. Williams in motion. The screenplay is set up, and he finds Cannon Bronson coming across the middle, but that's a nice pursuit and nice tackle by Braden Baker, who is everywhere on both sides of the football right now.
He's one of the expected contributors we talked about. But big third down for Heritage Hall. It's deep in your territory. Last thing you want to do is have a turnover. Either way, either you get a first down or just don't put it in harm's way and trust your defense again.
3rd and 17 for the Chargers. Jackson Echok entering the game. Walker Waddell in the backfield. Ball sits on the 13-yard line. 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Lawson with the fake to Echok, and he is dropped for a loss. That is Lincoln Torres, number 52, along with number 57, Josiah Faulkner. So that's going to bring a 4th and 17, and Coach Bogert sends in Luke Butler for the punting situation. Lincoln Christian defensive line doing a great job here early in this ball game. Butler, the sure-footed, getting it up into the wind. That ball hits at about the 32-yard line and checks back in the favor of Lincoln Christian. So great field position, short field for Lincoln Christian, starting at the Heritage Hall 29 or 28-yard line.
Yeah, it's just, we said field position battle. And that's what happens when you get a penalty also hurts, but force the team to get back. Day where you can't really kick as far, you are rewarded with great field position. But if you're Heritage Hall, got to lock in here and find a way to get the football back.
Carter Rickey moving to his left, looking back to his right. It is snuffed out nicely right there by Austin King, the junior, number 20, 6'2", 205 pounds. Austin King with 11 tackles last week against Clinton, and you saw him break on that ball, and he sniffed that one out all the way.
Well, that's twice now. Lincoln Christian has tried to run a misdirection rollout, throw it back across the field, and Heritage Hall's been all over it. So just great field discipline from the Chargers so far on the defensive side.
Austin King last week, 4 tackles for loss. Make that a tackle for loss right there, as Lincoln Christian lost 4 on the play. So this is going to be a 2nd and 14 inside of 1 minute here in the first quarter. Running it, keeping it on the ground once again, and that ball, looked like that ball came out for a second, but that, of course, is Braden Baker, who has had the lion's share of the duties back there so far. Short gain on the play, still working behind the sticks for Lincoln and Christian.
Well, as we kind of saw from Heritage Hall's side, with the conditions, you expect this to be a potentially 4-down territory for Lincoln Christian. So if you're Heritage Hall, you got to expect maybe a run here for Lincoln Christian to set up a shorter 4th down attempts.
19 seconds on the play clock, 12 seconds on the game clock. Here nearing the end of the first quarter. Looks like Lincoln Christian is just going to let this clock run out as it's 2-1, and so they will just let the quarter run out and swap sides. We'll take our first break of the day. You are watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
When you walk into this room, who you have beside you matters. Experience matters. We fight in Oklahoma and around the country, standing toe-to-toe against the most powerful adversaries in the world, and we win. Our record speaks for itself. Our verdicts and settlements speak for themselves, and we want to fight for you. Nix Patterson, Oklahoma attorneys with world-class experience.
We're back here. Lincoln Christian, Justin Evans, Caleb Kalsich, Lincoln Christian lining up for a 3rd and 11. Following the quarter and changing sides. And Caleb, what's your feel? What's your takeaway from what you've seen so far in quarter number 1?
Well, the run game is seeming to be the point of emphasis right now. Heritage Hall has not been able to establish as the snap here.
Ricky drops back looking for a receiver. He finds a receiver across the middle. Great coverage there by Okego as that ball hits the hands of number 6. That was Parker Rogers, unable to come up with it. Great defense there by Okego, and it looks like Lincoln Christian is going to go for this on 4th and 11.
Man, that's great coverage by Heritage Hall, but that ball just didn't want to go to the ground. Almost was a big play for Lincoln Christian, but just a great overall defensive effort. Sets them a 4th down attempt if you're Heritage Hall. Way to get the momentum back right here.
3 receivers stacked for Lincoln Christian. See what Coach Ricky has dialed up here on 4th and 11. Looking for a player, looking forward, and that ball is down. That ball is picked off, and it's coming back the other way. 2nd turnover on the day if this stands for Heritage Hall. Looking at the indication still waiting on it officially. And that is going to be Heritage Hall football. It looks like a pass that was in the hands, and following some good coverage, that ball pops up out of the middle of nowhere. Another one that didn't want to go to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, don't know if it's a fumble or interception technically, but I don't think he was going to make the line to gains. There was a great effort of Heritage Hall keeping him short, but an even better staying with the play, forcing the ball out, and then getting some yards down the other way.
We'll have to watch the replay if that's going to be a fumble or an interception. It looked like an interception from where I was standing, but it is hard to tell. But that is the 2nd turnover of the day for Lincoln Christian, and it looks like we've got too many men on the field for Heritage Hall. Looks like we've got 12 out there, so that's going to be an illegal substitution. I haven't had a chance to count yet. Saw the ref putting a count as Gerard Williams walks off the field here. So this is going to be a 1st and 15 for Heritage Hall, trying to take advantage of another turnover by Lincoln Christian. The give is to Max Everett up the middle. It's been tough running right now for Heritage Hall offense.
Max Everett's the ball carrier.
Lincoln Christian defense doing a good job in those running lanes in the holes.
Just not able to get any push up front right now. But hopefully you can wear them down as the game goes and open up that run game.
2nd and 9 for the Charger offense. Punted the ball away on the last possession. Hudson Ferris back in the game. Max Everett finds a little crease there up the middle. Good job of blocking up front
The defender for the Bulldogs.
by catcher Goodwin.
3rd down and 4.
So this is going to be another third down attempt for Heritage Hall. 3rd and 4, ball on the 31-yard line.
That's a couple of decent runs for Heritage Hall. Some of the better we've seen tonight. A couple of 5-yard gains, and now it gives you a 3rd and reasonable here on this drive.
Porter England resetting. Max Everett in the backfield. The give is to Everett, looking for space, and he's got space. And that's going to be good enough for another Heritage Hall first down. Great piece of running there by Max Everett. Heritage Hall looking for any soft spot in that defensive front. Get us some running room and safest play with this wind swirling the way it is. You've seen that from Lincoln Christian on their side. Relying on the run game here to move the sticks. So first down, Heritage Hall, ball up to the 45-yard line. Ferris under center. Give is to Everett once again. Everett with a nice gain of about 5 on the play, getting it to midfield. Tackled by a gang of Bulldogs.
Max Everett he's such a good runner. He is small. He finds the running lanes and he explodes. He is so hard to bring down, which is something Heritage Hall needs tonight. In a defense like Lincoln Christian, they give you so few running lanes. A running back that can find some is so big to your offense.
And Max Everett runs hard. Hard to bring down at first contact. Give is to Everett once again. Patient running right there. Nothing was open. Tried to cut it back to the middle. Short gain of 2 on the play. So another third down for Heritage Hall. Lincoln Torres once again on the tackle for the Bulldogs. So this is going to come to a 3rd and 3 for Heritage. Charger in Bulldog territory. Bulldog side of the field. Fake to Everett. It is kept by Hudson Ferris, and he's looking for a big, got a lot of green in front of him. He just slides down. I thought for a second Hudson was going to put a move there and bounce it outside, but he said, no, I've done good enough.
Well, first time we've seen a read option from Heritage Hall, and it fooled everyone at Lincoln Christian. There was no one over there. Just a great play call from Heritage Hall.
So another play to move the sticks for the Chargers down to the Lincoln Christian 36-yard line, trying to capitalize on the punt, on the fumble / interception on the last possession for the Bulldogs. Give is to Everett, looking for something, then he finds a crease and he gets outside. He's down to the 23-yard line. That's going to be good enough for another Heritage first down, and you start to see that offense starting to get a little bit of rhythm going to it.
I mean, that's what we were talking about. Everett was waiting, and then he exploded right to the hole and got a chunk gain for the Chargers.
Very patient running style right there for Max Everett.
First and 10 Chargers.
Good second quarter start here for the Charger offense. Ball down to the 24-yard line. Ferris with the give to Everett. Hitting the cutback. He's swarmed under. It's going to be no gain on the play for Max Everett. I think he thought for a second about bouncing it all the way to the other side of the field, but decided to put a foot in the ground and just step up in the hole.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
So no gain on the play. This is going to be 2nd and 10 for the Chargers. Okay, go into the game for the Chargers. Also joining him, Carson Phelps in the backfield with Max Everett and Rhett Davis. Fake is to Everett. Ferris looking for a receiver, and he's got one, and that's Porter England in the corner of the end zone, and that is going to be touchdown, Heritage Hall. What a great play there, Hudson Ferris to Porter England. We saw that connection all week last week. 2nd touchdown of the year from Porter England.
I mean, what a play design. Haven't thrown the ball all drive here. Play action out of heavy eye, and it's a double move for Porter England. He gets wide open in the left corner of the end zone, and just a perfect pass from Hudson Ferris.
Bo Butler for the point after.
That's how you take advantage of turnovers and takeaways, and Heritage Hall drove it down the field. A nice 21-yard touchdown pass. Hudson Ferris to Porter England, and the kick is no good. That might be the first kick I've seen Luke Butler miss. I think there was one maybe that was blocked last year, but Luke Butler just kind of pulled it to the left right there. So this is going to be a 7-6 ball game those extra points always kind of come back to hurt you a little bit too. Sometimes.
Yeah, especially in these type of games where that 1 point, you may look back later in the game, you're like, really wish we had that back. But it is windy.
My apologies to Luke Butler, who's no longer here on the field. That would be his brother Bo. You get going, and you got so many siblings and stuff running around here. So thank you, Price. That would be Bo Butler, not Luke. But Luke, if you're listening or watching, I apologize to you. You did not miss the kick. So nice answer there by Heritage Hall. 3 Points Land is proud to support the Chargers, and the Chargers are proud to have them on our team. 3 Points Land is leading the industry in land services for energy innovation. Visit 3pointsland.com to learn more. Just what the doctor ordered, Mr. Kalsic.
Absolutely. A drive you had to have. Get your second turnover of the game. Could not waste an opportunity to go steal some momentum back. And, I mean, what a drive. Run it all the way down to around the 25, then you open up the play action.
And you saw Max Everett now finding a couple little creases. It almost like he got a little bit more patient on that drive, not pressing in there so much and trying to find anything that he could get.
Well, that's the type of runner you need with a strong front seven, a patient runner who can find the running lanes even when they're hard to come by.
Butler with the pooch kick up to Hudson Ferris. Hudson Ferris trying to find an opening. He is brought down on the play by George Robley.
With a 13-yard run back.
Be good field position here for Lincoln Christian. You have to give it up to this Heritage Hall defense so far. Doing the job. Gave up a little bit on that Lincoln Christian drive on the ground. But other than that, forcing 2 turnovers, a punt, and a fumble in the other 4 possessions. Other 3 possessions, I'm sorry. Fumble, punt, and an interception. Trying to get outside. It's the very speedy C.J. Wright.
C.J. Wright on the run.
He's a guy that's tough to bring down. He was hit once again initially at the line of scrimmage, ended up getting 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, it's just one of those runners that it takes more than one to bring him down, and he is so physical. He's also so fast. He's just like Max Everett. Finds a running lane, he explodes down the sideline. So Heritage Hall's done a decent job of keeping him in check.
Give is to the other back. Tough runner. That's Braden Baker. It's a 1-2 punch, Braden Baker and C.J. Wright. Braden Baker had Jackson Echok hanging on him, carrying him just a little bit. He kept those legs going, so that's a big gain for the Bulldogs down to the Heritage Hall 47-yard line. Midway through the second quarter here. 7-6 ball game. Lincoln Christian up on the Chargers. The give is once again to C.J. Wright, finding a hole up the middle. That is out, and that ball is going to be a touchdown, but there is a flag on the play in the backfield for Lincoln Christian. That flag is down at the 34-yard line, and this is coming back. This is going to be a holding call on Lincoln Christian, negating the touchdown run by C.J. Wright. Lucky break there for the Charger defense. C.J. Wright found a wide open, a major hole up the middle, had to bounce it to the outside and outran the Charger defender to the pylon.
He's one of those players that is really dangerous if he gets to the second level. Open field tackles, hard to bring him down, but we've seen this a couple of times. A couple of big gains Lincoln Christian have come back because of holding.
I think that's something Coach Bogert will talk to the guys at the half. His yards after contact right now are really affecting the Heritage Hall defense on this running attack from Lincoln Christian. So that's going to push the ball back to a 1st and 20 for the Bulldogs. Ball all the way back to the 43-yard line. Talented looking squad for Lincoln Christian. Ricky with the give to Braden Baker, and he swarmed under. Good defense right there, and that is Andrick Golden leading the charge there for the Chargers. Number 58, Andrick Golden.
The defender on the play.
Andrick Golden last week against Clinton. 6 tackles.
Second 20.
Also was the stalwart of the offensive line as well, locking down the Clinton linemen all night long. Heritage Hall just massively controlled both sides of the line of scrimmage in that Clinton game last week, looking to do the same tonight against a very, very talented Lincoln Christian squad. So no gain on the play. 2nd and 20 here for the Bulldogs. Carter Rickey fakes it, keeps it right up the middle. He's hit initially, once again, by Echok. He's able to shed that tackle and pick up 2 or 3 more yards after contact.
Rambles for 16 yards.
Jackson Echok, excuse me, initially on the contact.
3rd and 6 for the Bulldogs.
So this is going to be a 3rd and 6 for Lincoln Christian. Trying to get back the yardage from the holding call. Eight on the play clock. Give is up the middle to Braden Baker. Finds a hole. That's going to be good enough for a Lincoln Christian first down as he is brought down by Carson Phelps. Carson Phelps coming off a 5-tackle performance, 2 solos and 2 tackles for loss last week against Clinton. So Lincoln Christian on the move here, ball down to the 29-yard line. Lincoln Christian's only scoring drive, a 1-yard touchdown run by Braden Baker. Boy, keeps going. Tackled on the play by David Griffin. Our Nix Patterson featured player of the game. That's going to be good enough for another Bulldog first down. So this is going to be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. Ball sitting at the 7-yard line of Heritage Hall. Keeping the ball on the ground this whole possession for the Bulldogs, running it right down the field. Give once again to Wright, bouncing, trying to get outside. He's hit, breaks free of the tackle, and that's going to be touchdown, Lincoln Christian.
Flag down.
There is a flag on the play as well. Right at the line of scrimmage.
Holding on the Bulldogs.
This is going to be another touchdown that will be negated by a holding call against the Bulldog offense. Heritage Hall defense catching some breaks right now, as you saw C.J. Wright get free again and get the ball across the goal line.
He only makes a 1st and goal from the 17.
So this is going to be 1st and goal from the 17-yard line for the Bulldogs. Quick quarter, 3 minutes, 29 seconds left to go here before the half. Hey, stay tuned, stick around for halftime. We're going to be talking to Caleb and find out everything he has going on. So proud of what he's doing up at the University of Kansas. Pursuing his broadcasting dreams as well. Have to be on my toes today because I got a pro in the booth next to me. Once again, gets out of there. Coach Bogert's not going to be happy with this tackling that he's seeing right now. That is a talented C.J. Wright. Broke 4 tackles on that play. So that is going to be a 17-yard touchdown run by C.J. Wright. All on the ground for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you thought you had him down around the 7-yard line, and he just found a way to get out of the tackle and break a couple more en route to the end zone.
So the Bulldogs increase the lead to 13-6. 3 minutes left here in the second quarter. Very impressed with both backs that we've seen for the Bulldogs. C.J. Wright and Braden Baker both. Kick is up, and it is good.
Cooper Nelson's code after is good. We're at 3:19 left of the second.
Lincoln Christian touchdowns on each of their last 3 possessions, or excuse me, 2 of their last 3 possessions. Interception sandwich between that Heritage Hall took advantage of and ran it down the field. ChargerVision would like to thank Injectable Aesthetics for proudly supporting the Chargers. Look on the outside as young as you feel on the inside. Follow us at Injectable Aesthetics OKC on Instagram for more info. And a big thank you to another proud supporter of our Chargers, Dr. Joshua Blue Spears. Do you want to perform at optimum level? Come join the million other high school, college, and professional athletes and get adjusted before or after the game. For more info, follow us at JBS_chiropractic on Instagram. So Lincoln Christian answers the 21-yard touchdown reception for Porter England from Hudson Ferris, increasing the lead to 14-6 as we await the kickoff. Gerard Williams back to receive the kick along with Porter England. Kick goes to Porter England, fielded at the 5-yard line. Trying to get up the sideline. Nice hit. Hit hard out of bounds. Heritage Hall looks like the ball will be spotted at about the 25-yard line to begin possession number 6 on the night.
We've got a flag on play.
It looked like Porter England was hit possibly late over there on the sideline. I didn't see the flag come out. Caleb caught the flag.
Yeah, not sure what they're talking about. It came out super late.
We'll see what the indication is here.
Heritage
This
Hall's
is going to
backing
be a
up.
dead ball, unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike contact against the Chargers.
What-
15-yard penalty.
Boy, that's a tough time to get a call, to get a penalty like that on you in a game like this, and starting off with pretty decent field position. So
The 12.
possibly somebody took exception to that seemingly late hit on the sideline. So that'll push the ball back to the 12-yard line. Heritage Hall starting their possession here with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go before halftime. Hudson Ferris still at quarterback for the Chargers. Give is to Max Everett. He's dropped for a loss on the play. That's going to be a loss of 3.
Parker Rogers with the stop for the loss. Second 12.
So 2nd and 12 for the Chargers. Don't really want to give this ball back to the Bulldogs. 2 timeouts left for each team. You would suspect that if they're able to get a stop here, that Lincoln Christian will take one of those timeouts in an attempt to get the ball back and possibly more points on the boards. Ferris drops back, finds a wide open receiver, and Gerard Williams trying to make a guy miss. He just steps out of bounds, and that's going to be good enough for a Charger first down. Pickup of about 14 on the play, Hudson to Williams.
It's the same exact play that Heritage Hall scored on with Porter England. It's a double move after a play action, and Williams is wide open on the far sideline.
So the clock stops on the first down, and Williams getting out of bounds, ball all the way up to the 25-yard line now. Give is to Max Everett. He's hit initially. No gain, or maybe gain of 1 yard on the play for Everett. Everett getting the bulk of the carries tonight for the Chargers.
Pickup of 1.
We've seen a couple of carries by Nash Iser, but Max Everett appears to be the go-to guy tonight for this Charger running attack. 2nd and 9 here. They'll give him 1 on the play. Ferris looking for a receiver. He looks like he's looking for Rhett Davis out there. Very, very dangerous play, as he had number 6, Parker Rogers, planted right between himself and the intended receiver, Rhett Davis. That's another one that maybe Green were in the eyeballs again, Caleb.
Yeah, I think he thought he could just get it over Rogers, and Rogers had a good vertical. Got up there and almost intercepted it. And I think Lincoln Christian had a convoy. They could have potentially taken that back.
So big 3rd down play here. The clock stopped on the incompletion. 3rd and 9 for the Chargers. Ferris under immense pressure. He's hit right as he throws. He is hit hard on the backside on a blindside blitz. That ball was intended for Rhett Davis, and it falls incomplete, and Heritage Hall will punt it away to the Bulldog offense here on the 4th and 9.
another corner blitz, and Hudson Ferris never saw him. He was coming from his blind side. Chargers are probably lucky that Hudson Ferris was able to get that pass off and not be a fumble.
For the Chargers, C.J. Wright, back 8 for the Bulldogs.
It's off the side of the foot of Butler. That ball hits at the 45-yard line, takes a small Heritage Hall bounce. It is going to be downed right there by Ryan Bullock. Good short field for this Bulldog offense. 2 timeouts remaining for Lincoln Christian. 1 minute 46 seconds left in the second quarter. Lincoln Christian is going to get the ball spotted at the 46-yard line of Heritage Hall.
Chargers have got to find a way to keep Lincoln Christian off the board here. Bulldogs get the football to start the second half as well, so pretty dangerous territory for Heritage Hall.
Ricky with the give to Baker. Gain of about 5 on the play. Braden Baker. Lincoln Christian hanging on to those 2 timeouts right now as we approach the 1 minute mark here before the half. You know Coach Ricky is going to do whatever he can to get some more points on the board and take even more momentum into the locker room. As Ricky sets up the screen pass to Baker. Sheds a couple of tackles. Nice run by Baker. That's going to be good enough for another. Uh-oh, there's a late flag right there. That is going to be a young man that has just lost his cool for Lincoln Christian. I don't think this is going to offset. This looks like this might be an unsportsmanlike conduct on Lincoln Christian at the end of this play. We'll see if they offset it, Caleb, but it's usually the second guy that got caught on this one.
I was going to say, there was a little pushing and shoving, but it's always the second guy that doesn't that's going to get in trouble. But we'll see what they decide. They are talking about this.
If this does go solely against Lincoln Christian, Coach Ricky is not going to be happy about that.
Dead ball foul, personal foul.
And they're going to offset him. I didn't see the first shove. We definitely saw the second one because it was right out in there in the wide open. But they are going to offset this. That is a big gain there by Braden Baker on the screen pass. So this is going to be a first down for Lincoln Christian down to the Heritage Hall 26. A minute left here in the second quarter. Ricky looking for a receiver. He's going to tuck it. A lot of room out there to the right. That ball is incomplete. Looks like it hit Braden Baker right in the hands and unable to come up with the reception. Clock stops at 52 seconds left to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, Heritage Hall doing a good job of keeping Ricky in the pocket. They have a spy on as well. They know his threat on the grounds. And good coverage there as well. No one coming open, even after the quarterback starts going mobile.
And you're right, they've done a great job on Ricky tonight. Ricky drops back. Nice pocket. He finds his receiver over the middle, and that's going to be touchdown, Lincoln Christian. 26-yard touchdown pass from Ricky to C.J. Wright.
Ricky to C.J. Wright for the 28-yard.
We've seen C.J. Wright carry the ball, and there's a touchdown reception from Wright. He's doing a little bit of everything tonight for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs capitalize on the short field for the third touchdown of the half, increasing their lead to 20-6, waiting on the ensuing extra point. The kick is up, and it is good.
Point after Smith. With 45 seconds left in the first half. Bulldogs 21, Chargers 6.
Leah and Whitney Real Estate is a real estate brokerage here in the OKC Metro. Leah Strickland and Whitney Moss are dedicated to their clients every step of the way. ChargerVision and the HH community is proud to have them as sponsors. To learn more about Leah and Whitney and their real estate brokerage, visit leahandwhitney.com. It's all about the power of two. Caleb, let's look at some of those keys to victory that Coach Bogert talked about in the pregame.
Yeah, we go back to it was a lot on the defense. You got to read the keys, letting the guys get to the ball. They are getting to the football. Problem is they are unable to get CJ Wright down to the ground. And, he scored on the slant, a deep slant pattern, a couple of rushing touchdowns. Second half, you got to be able to adjust. And whenever you get contact, you have to bring them down. You can't allow second efforts from them.
Coach Bogert talked about getting 11 guys to the ball, and we're going to have some more rally tackles, to try to get this very talented backfield for the Bulldogs down and get some of these yards after contact under control. So Heritage Hall is going to get it on the touchback. 21-6, Lincoln Christian leads it. 45 seconds before halftime. Charger Nation, stick around at the half. We'll talk to Caleb Kalsich. Nice interview at the half and see what's going on in Caleb's life. And then also we'll break down all of the first half action and all of the scoring drives, scoring action that we've witnessed here in the first half. The give here is to, was that Walker Riddell? Can't see it.
Blew the play dead.
Yeah, that was Walker. Yeah, they did blow it dead. That ball was stripped away from Waddell. Oh, that would have been disaster, but it was blown dead. Forward progress had stopped on that one. So Heritage Hall with the play clock at 29, I think Coach Bogert's going to be content with taking this one into the locker room. Heritage Hall just kind of unable to contain that running game here in the first quarter, but this game is far from over. 21-6 lead is Lincoln Christian. Nice first half for Lincoln Christian. They have to be happy with that. We're going to take a break. You are watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
Joe Cooper Ford has 3 Ford dealerships around the metro to serve Oklahoma better than anyone else. What does having 3 of the best Ford dealerships in the state mean for you? It means 3 times the selection and 3 times the savings, and that's 3 times the service. And Joe guarantees to beat any price in Oklahoma by $500, or he'll give you $10,000. That's why Joe beats the competition 3-1. Who loves you, Oklahoma?
The elite always work to get better. So every day, we dedicate ourselves to being the best orthopedic surgeons in the country, committed to helping you be your best. No matter where you are or the obstacles you face, we never give up, because it's too important to you and the communities we serve. And for that reason, Saints march on.
When you walk into this room, who you have beside you matters. Experience matters. We fight in Oklahoma and around the country, standing toe-to-toe against the most powerful adversaries in the world, and we win. Our record speaks for itself. Our verdicts and settlements speak for themselves, and we want to fight for you. Nix Patterson, Oklahoma attorneys with world-class experience. When you walk into this room, who you have beside you matters. Experience matters. We fight in Oklahoma and around the country, standing toe-to-toe against the most powerful adversaries in the world, and we win. Our record speaks for itself. Our verdicts and settlements speak for themselves, and we want to fight for you. Nix Patterson, Oklahoma attorneys with world-class experience.
And we're back. Halftime here in Tulsa, Oklahoma on the campus of Lincoln Christian. It's 21-6, Lincoln over Heritage Hall. But before we get into all of that, Caleb Kalsich, such a nice pleasure and such a pleasure to have you up here. And Caleb, we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the KU student radio and the broadcast you're doing. I pulled up a link today and man, heard you doing some Kansas football. So gosh, tell me about that.
Yeah, so I've done this since my freshman year. Done all sorts of sports. I've done football a couple times, basketball, done a ton of softball. I'm probably close to 50 games now on softball. But it's great. It's different. People that know me at high school, I was not the most outgoing person. I was pretty shy. And I kind of feel like it's kind of like opened me up a little bit, this broadcasting thing. But I love it. I love sports. Most of us do. And just being able to do something like that, never would have imagined, called a couple OU games, grew up, loving it. It was awesome.
Yeah, you were telling me that earlier about, OU comes up to KU and you have to call that game, and now you've got to be impartial and you're pulled in these directions. Is this something, Caleb, that, early on, when you were younger, was this something that you felt you wanted to do, or did this happen later, in your high school? You graduated, of course, in 22 from Heritage Hall. So did it come from there, or was it once you got to college where you got this passion?
I mean, there's always this thing about watching sports that I was always so, I guess, focused on the graphics and all that kind of stuff, what makes a sports broadcast. And, I would listen to different calls. I would rewatch it and just see how they would describe what was going on. So I kind of fell in love with it. And high school was kind of what, I guess, put me toward that path with ChargerVision. I didn't get to call games, but I got to work them, got to see what this side of sports was. And, I think that's what really pushed me to want to study sports media at Kansas. And I couldn't ask for anything more. It's been awesome.
It just feels like, and it looks like you are in your element 100% when it comes to that. I also want to ask you, too, something that I was a little bit surprised about was you do some sports writing as well for the Kansan up there.
Yeah, I do. So I cover the same sports more often than not. This year, actually, I get to do staff picks now for football games. So I predict the KU football games every week. There's a big one tomorrow. Chose Kansas because there might be people getting mad at me if I chose the other team in that game. But no, it's been awesome. It's a different perspective. It just gave me more experience. I guess it really helped me broadcast-wise because I had to learn how to write for that and then still be able to turn it into a broadcast when I turned it this way.
Caleb, just so proud of you, and and I loved it because I saw a clip of you breaking down the LSU Clemson game last week, and that was on your Point After podcast where you're a co-host on that as well. Tell me about that, because man, you were breaking down games, and I'm going to tell you, Caleb, I'm like, man, we've got the professional in the booth tonight. I'm going to have to be at my best. So you did one heck of a job breaking that down, and you look like you just have an innate ability to analyze what's going on.
Yeah, so the funny thing about that is that was something we started a couple of years ago. It's been kind of on and off, just schedules. Not everyone, we're all from different states, so just getting schedules linked up. And If you ever watched that one, do not. If I pick a team, you should probably pick the opposite. I was probably 1-5 in those games.
So you're telling us right now,
but,
hey, don't do any of that. Okay.
I was wrong in all of those games, but I got the Ohio State Texas right. That was the one that I did get right. But no, it's different. I'm more used to calling it as it happens than trying to predict, trying to analyze what you think is going to happen, what goes into a game, what's the big storylines, kind of what we broke down. It's different, but I think that's really going to help me not only as going forward, but studying for a broadcast. You can know what to look for going to a game.
So we talked earlier, and you just have a knack for that, and it looked like that's not a struggle for you at all. And so we talked about, so the degree is sports media as well as sports management. So, what is the direction? What would be the ultimate goal for Caleb Kalsich from this point forward? You're in your senior year at Kansas now. So what is the future looking like?
So I originally went to Kansas Sports Media and, realized that it's hard. It's going to be hard to get into that. So after my freshman year, I opened up sports management, which is, all the sides like athletic director, inside a college sports program, things like that. And, obviously I just want to be in sports, wherever it may be, whether it be on the media side, whether it be working for an athletic department or a team, something like that. That's where I want to go. In the spring, I got to get an internship somehow in sports management, so I think that's going to get me my experience there. But wherever it takes me, it's hard to pick that now because you never know what you're going to get when I graduate. But I love doing both. I've done both for now 3 years, and it's been an interesting balance trying to keep one side separate because they are separate in a way.
Right.
But,
do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite sport? I know you were talking about when you call softball, and you're a one-man show. There's no studio that you're kicking it back to like you have in football. If you have a preference, is there one, or is it just, hey, give me the opportunity to be on the mic and let's go call some games?
If it comes down to it, anything and everything I would take, but I've really enjoyed softball. I played baseball. I know the sport. I know softball. They're pretty similar. I've enjoyed calling those just because it is slow. You have to fill time, and I think it's a lot more difficult than you think when you first started. There's a lot of dead air, especially on radio. That's a bad thing. You want something happening all the time. That's really taught me. And then football is obviously it's football. It's a great thing to call basketball.
Right.
Basketball's hard.
Have you done much basketball at all?
I've done a couple games.
Okay.
It's just so fast. There's a lot of things going, especially in the Big 12. There's a lot of things going on.
Right.
And I don't know. I've done it a couple times. It's not my favorite thing to do, but if it comes down to it, I'd love to do it.
And you called your first soccer game the other day at KU. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did. It was not one of my better calls, but gave me the experience, so I know what to do going forward. It was kind of like here. It's really hard to see the numbers in soccer, so I was kind of relying on the PA announcer tell me who scored.
Yes,
but
we know the feeling tonight.
Yes, but it's just I can't ask for a better 4 year. It's crazy that it's my senior year, but the last 4 years have been incredible.
Well, Caleb, I know you were friends, and my younger one, Pregame, graduated in 22 with you, Caleb, and I'm just, I've been around you for a long time, but haven't been around you for a long time,
Yeah.
So it has been a while since I've seen you and able to sit down and visit with you, and of course I remember those days on the baseball field and all of those as you were growing up. So just so proud to see what you've accomplished and what you're accomplishing, and we just expect great things from you moving forward. There's no doubt. And listen, you're free to come here anytime. You have an open invitation. And by the way, I'm doing Charger softball too, so you're free to come over and call some softball, and we can get this thing going. But, Caleb, it is so good to have you, and best of luck to you in your endeavors, and we'll be watching for you and keeping tabs on everything you do. And with that, we're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back, and Caleb and I are going to break down all of the first half action here. Heritage Hall versus Lincoln Christian. You are watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
Last week, we started the journey. One game, one win. And not just any win, a shutout. The kind of performance that truly makes a statement.
boys. That's what we like to do.
But now, that road takes us north. 100 miles up the Turner Turnpike. A trip we've made before, sure, but never like this. For the first time in the regular season, we step onto their field, the home of the Lincoln Christian Bulldogs, our greatest new rival. This rivalry, it has history. It has tested us. It has demanded our very best. Every snap, every drive, every play. Because rivalries, they just do something different. They bring out the fight. They bring out the resilience. They bring out who we truly are. And this one is special because this time we walk into their house, their stands, their lights. And tonight, in front of their crowd, it is our turn to rise, our turn to answer. It's our turn to show the state of Oklahoma what Heritage Hall football is made of. We are not here to simply participate. We are here to dominate. We are not here to bow down. We are here to conquer. Tonight, the rivalry continues, and we will write the next chapter together. Relentless, strong, and unstoppable. Charger Nation, we need you. We need you to be the lightning strike heading up the turnpike. You know what's next. Come on. Here we go. Coming to you from Dennis Byrd Stadium and Willie George Field on the campus of Lincoln Christian High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is Heritage Hall football.
And we are back. 21-6 is the score at the half. Number 1, Lincoln Christian over number 2, Heritage Hall. And well, Caleb, just give me, kind of your breakdown from what you saw in the first half. It was, a tale of some big plays, chunk plays given up on the ground by this Heritage Hall defense, and just good execution by Lincoln Christian.
Yeah, Lincoln Christian's offensive defensive line have really given Heritage Hall trouble. Besides that one scoring drive that the Chargers put together, they were really unable to run the football. On the opposite side, Heritage Hall hasn't really found a way to slow down C.J. Wright and Braden Baker.
Yeah.
The two running backs have been a problem, and even when Heritage Hall has gotten the backfield, they've been able to break free. So it's a game where we thought the run games were going to be big because of the wind. Passing game is kind of, not there right now, but Heritage Hall is just struggling right now to control the line of scrimmage.
And, we're seeing that penetration like we did last week against Clinton. I think that Clinton just didn't have that slippery guy that could get out of it. And, the most impressive thing that we've seen, we knew we really had to contain, Ricky, the quarterback, of course. I mean, I think that's the catalyst, and he's kind of what their offense flows around. But we've really just seen, that running, that combo of Wright and Baker back there that, boy, they're doing a job.
They are, and then when you bring in Ricky as a QB design run, you have an extra blocker, and that causes you trouble. Heritage Hall did a good job of shutting him down. They didn't let him get outside on a pass play. Even on the QB design runs, he got, I think, one big play, but they also forced a fumble off that. So they've done a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage in that aspect, but got to find a way to slow down C.J. Wright in this second
Heritage
half.
Hall forced the 2 turnovers in the first quarter, or in the first half, able to capitalize on one of them and put the ball in the end zone, and that was a 21-yard touchdown reception to Porter England from Hudson Ferris, and then just not able to capitalize on the other one, and then 2 turnovers on fourth down conversions, 2 fourth down conversions that we were unable to do inside of Lincoln Christian territory. So I think that kind of put the brakes on the offense a little bit as well.
Well, it's a game of momentum, and when you have opportunities to get on the scoreboard or get pressure on a team, and you fail to do so, the other team then takes advantage of that. Those 2 fourth down attempts killed the momentum that Heritage Hall was gaining. They were moving the football, and then they kind of stalled out. Lincoln Christian was able to score and get the momentum, and then take some back with a fumble, and you score a touchdown. and then another 4th down attempt that failed that aided the scoring drive. So it's a game of momentum. You go back and forth, but Heritage Hall, they have a big drive here to slow down Lincoln Christian to get the football back.
The scoring started with Lincoln Christian on a 1-yard touchdown run by Braden Baker. A run that we had a 15-yard face mask penalty that gave Lincoln Christian the ball at the 1-yard line. They were able to punch it in, and then also a 17-yard touchdown run by C.J. Wright. That was a play where we hit him early in that carry, and we were just unable to get him down. He was able to slide out of tackles and find his way into the end zone. And then Lincoln Christian ended the scoring on a 26-yard touchdown reception from Ricky to Wright. And so Wright really did everything that he needed to do, running the ball, catching the ball, and he was able to even break a few tackles down by the goal line on that touchdown reception as well.
Yeah, he just did everything in that first half. Like the Heritage Hall, Lincoln Christian realized the pass game was probably not going to be the way to go. Obviously, they had that quick slant that went to the end zone, but that's an easy pass in these conditions. But C.J. Wright, he's hard to bring down. Heritage Hall, that was a key. Got to swarm to the football, and they're going to have to do a better job, especially for C.J. Wright in the second half, because one or two guys is not bringing him down right now.
And one thing we know, Caleb, about Coach Bogert, the staff, and the staff here at Heritage Hall, they're wonderful. They're incredible about making adjustments. We've seen it over the years time and time again where seemingly things aren't going the way they need to, but they're able to make those adjustments at halftime. And so we're expecting nothing less out of this second half of this football game.
No, absolutely. It's a game of adjustments for a reason. Lincoln Christian will make theirs. Heritage Hall will make theirs. Hopefully, for the Chargers' sake, their adjustments work better than the
Both teams are back on the field. We're about a minute away from the kickoff, second half kickoff. We're going to take our final break of the half. You are watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
When you walk into this room, who you have beside you matters. Experience matters. We fight in Oklahoma and around the country, standing toe-to-toe against the most powerful adversaries in the world, and we win. Our record speaks for itself. Our verdicts and settlements speak for themselves, and we want to fight for you. Nix Patterson, Oklahoma attorneys with world-class experience.
And we're back. Couple of minutes here before second half kickoff. Both teams are on the field. What started off as a kind of a mild evening has turned into kind of a blustery evening up here. Got Caleb Kalsich all shivering next to me. He does not have the long sleeves on. And he's trying to man up, but it's a little tough right now.
Listen, when I read the weather, when I drove from Kansas yesterday, it did not say any of this was possible. So, maybe oversight by me. I knew it was acting like fall in September, which is great, by the way, but not when you're not dressed correctly for it.
Heritage Hall would like to thank Spark, which proudly supports Heritage Hall Athletics. Fuel your Charger pride with burgers, bites, and cold delights. Come see us before and after every big game in Chisholm Creek. Follow Eat at Spark on Instagram for more. Also, ChargerVision would like to thank Dave's Hot Chicken for being a proud part of the Charger family. Dave's Hot Chicken is here to spice up your game day. Enjoy mind-blowing hot chicken from our newest location in Chisholm Creek. We just like to thank all of our sponsors who make this possible for us each and every week. ChargerVision yesterday at the softball games. If you have not seen this Heritage Hall softball team yet, 14-0 start on the year. They gave up 5 runs yesterday total. Coming into the game last night, the Lady the Lady Chargers had only given up 1 run all season. So ChargerVision, I was happy to bless to call that game, those 2 games last night. And if you haven't seen these young ladies yet, they are officially on the map. Please come out and support Heritage Hall softball. Coach Seymour is doing a great job there, and now this is a program that's going to be expected to make some deep runs into the playoffs. And I talked to him about that last night. Do you change anything? Because, you know, that's a program that's had some success, but now they're getting to the level of success where you expect it game in, game out, and they've got some great young ladies there for Charger softball. So that was ChargerVision last night. ChargerVision here in Tulsa tonight, always doing such a wonderful job, and I just want to give a special shout out to the ChargerVision crew tonight: Paisley Boyles, Luke Dillon, Cooper Fowler, Kieran Jane, Neil Jan, Isabella Paskowski, Price Brown, and of course Luke Stillman. Great job here. One of the best student broadcasts you'll see in the whole state of Oklahoma. We're a couple of seconds away. The crowd's returning from finding some safety out of the wind. We'll look shortly if we're going to see Tegan Lawson or Hudson Ferris starting the second half here for the Chargers at quarterback. They played about equal number of possessions last week versus Clinton. So we'll see what Coach Bogert has, the adjustments that he made following the halftime meetings in the locker room. Heritage Hall will be kicking off to Lincoln Christian to start the second half. Trailing, of course, by 21-6. Bo Butler will handle the kicking duties, as always, for the Chargers. I inadvertently had Luke Butler missing an extra point 5 years removed from high school. He's not that old, is he?
He graduated with me.
I thought so. I thought so. It's coming close. It's about there, isn't it? So we're just about underway here in the third quarter. Heritage Hall needing a momentum stopping defensive stand right here to start this second half. The ball is kicked short. It is fielded at the 25-yard line. Trying to get outside. Gets up the middle. Tackled at about the 35-yard line, and that's exactly where Lincoln Christian will start the second half possession.
Bulldogs will start at their own 35, 1st and 10.
So 6 possessions for Lincoln Christian in the first half. Lincoln Christian punt, fumble, touchdown, interception, touchdown, touchdown. Starting here at the 35-yard line. The give is to C.J. Wright, getting outside, looking for a crease. Good tackle right there by Porter England. Nice gain of 12, first play of the second half for C.J. Wright. And you see when he's a kid that when he gets the corner, he takes the corner.
Yeah, I mean, once again, found open space, and he has the speed to run away from you. So a good job from Heritage Hall corralling him for it was a big game, but limiting him to 12 yards.
So 12-yard gain for Wright. Ball up to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Wright in motion. The fake to Baker. Thrown back to Baker. Trying to find some space. And, hit initially by Walker Waddell. Unable to wrap up the Bulldog back. Short gain on the play of 3. He was initially hit right at the sticks and was able to spin away for a 3-yard gain after contact. So that ball is moved down inside on the Heritage Hall side of the field. Ball spotted at the 49-yard line. 2nd and 7 here.
2nd 7.
Lincoln Christian looking for their 3rd straight title. Winners in 23 and 24. The give is to C.J. Wright, and he hits the go button at about the 35-yard line and falls forward down inside the 30. Nice game once again for C.J. Wright. Lincoln Christian coming in with a 53-game home winning streak here at Dennis Byrd Stadium, Willie George Field. 29 straight overall, 27 straight in the regular season. So this team is a team that knows how to win, Caleb.
They do, especially in this building. It's really hard to beat them in their home place. And they're just doing what they did in the first half, just using C.J. Wright down the field.
Ball's down to the 25-yard line. The give is to Baker, it looks like, or is that right? Hard to tell from up here.
Believe that was Baker.
That was Baker on the carry. Gain of about 4 on the play. Be 2nd and 6. Ball down almost in the red zone, approaching the red zone here. Ball's at the 21-yard line of the Chargers. First possession of the second half for Lincoln Christian. Lincoln Christian, who won the coin toss to begin this game, deferred. Heritage Hall took the first possession, which resulted in a punt. Heritage Hall with 5 possessions in the first half: punt, turnover on downs, punt, and a touchdown. The give is to Baker on the outside. Diving forward at the chains. We'll see what that mark is. He may have come up just a hair short. No, they are going to say first down, Lincoln Christian. Ball inside the 20-yard line now. Caleb and I talked at the half that we felt that Lincoln Christian would pretty much just come out and try to ground and pound this thing right down the field, and that's exactly what they've done so far.
It's what they did in the first half too. They've had success with it. Feel like they haven't, they feel like Heritage Hall hasn't had a chance to slow them down, and they're doing the same exact thing here, just running right up the middle.
Give is to Baker once again. Nice hard run right up the middle. He is hit and dropped. It's like brought down by Klein Reuter. Klein Reuter comes out on the play along with Rhett Davis. 2nd and 6 for the Bulldog offense. Give is to C.J. Wright, trying to find outside. Good tackle. That's the way to corral him right there. Walker Waddell. Walker Waddell was the defensive player of the week following the Clinton game. Waddell with 6 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss in that game last week. Good job right there by Waddell. One of the few times tonight that we have dropped C.J. Wright for no gain on the play.
It was just a good job. You had two Chargers in the backfield, forced Wright to have to try to maneuver them, and then that's what we talked about, swarm to the football, find ways to get them down.
The fake to Baker. Finds the receiver out wide. Good tackle, good open field tackle there by Emeka Okego. So this is going to bring up a 4th down situation for Lincoln Christian. This is going to be a 4th and about 4 yards here. Lincoln Christian, 4-down territory all day long. They play much of the same attitude as Heritage Hall does when it comes to 4-down territory on your side of the field, or on the opposite side of the field, I should say.
Well, they're both aggressive. They know that their offenses are hard to stop, and they are just going out there and say, stop us, or we'll keep going. So they may call a timeout here to think about it, and that's what they do. But, field goal here also pushes this lead to 3 scores. So maybe that's what they're going to talk about.
Ball's located, spotted down at the 9-yard line. Lincoln will take their first timeout of the half. A big shout out to CBS Sports Radio 105.3 for powering ChargerVision this season. The station does a great job shining a spotlight on high school teams and players around the state, including our Heritage Hall Chargers. Tune to 105.3 on your radio for some great sports talk from the KIMB crew. Miles Perry, was he in your class? Maybe a year before. I
think he was a year before.
Right. I think he graduated in 21. That's exactly right. Now, do you keep in touch with many of the guys from the class of 22? I know everybody goes their separate ways and doing their own things.
I mean, yeah, we talk every once in a while. It's hard now. We all have different schedules. We're all, as we have gone through college, have gotten increasingly busy because we're doing stuff outside for our future. So we'll chat every once in a while, especially if we're home for breaks. We'll find a chance to meet up with each other.
The power of Heritage Hall and the fraternity. I love it. This is 4th and 4, ball at the 9-yard line, the fake. And that is Ricky looking for the end zone. That is a great play there by Emeka Okego, and that is going to be a turnover on downs. great defensive play. Had Ricky, I could not see the intended receiver. These numbers up here are very difficult to see, but it looks like he tried to just touch it over the top of Okego right there, and Okego was able to knock it down.
Yeah, he tried to float it over, and in this wind, it's really hard to do so without it getting kind of caught up and pulled back down. It was just a great effort by the Chargers there to knock that away. Had a man right behind him, and that's exactly what you needed for Heritage Hall coming out of the locker room. Now you have a chance to cut this back to a single score.
So Heritage Hall with Hudson Ferris starting the second half deep in our own territory at the 9-yard line, but see if we can capitalize on the turnover and downs. Hudson Ferris dropping back, looking for a receiver going up the field. That's Porter England. He's overthrown.
That was the play that they scored a touchdown on earlier. They run it a couple times, had success with it. I think Lincoln Christian was maybe ready for that one, seeing it 2 or 3 times.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Chargers. Hudson Ferris getting the call after the half. Hudson Ferris and Tegan Lawson both sharing some quarterback duties so far in the first 2 games of the season. Heritage Hall trying to take advantage of the 4th down turnover on downs. Give is to Max Everett. Oh, he's got a crease up the middle. Shot out of there like a rocket was Max Everett. One shoestring away from picking up the first down, but nice gain on the play, and this is going to be right at the stick. So this is going to be a 3rd and 1 for the Chargers. We'll call it a long one.
And you kind of have to think about with limited possessions here in the second half, do you think about going for it? You're down 15, you need to get points. You have maybe 2 plays to get a yard here.
Give is to Everett. They've got penetration into the backfield. Lincoln Christian did a good job controlling the line of scrimmage right there. This is going to be very close, and I don't think there's going to be any gain on the play. This is going to be a 4th down. We'll see what Coach Bogert does, and I think you're exactly right, Caleb. I don't see any movement on that sideline right now. This is going to be a 4th and 1 from Heritage Hall at their own 19-yard line, and there was no question from the outset that Coach Bogert was going for it.
I mean, now you're already halfway through this 3rd quarter. Lincoln Christian's going to take the air out of the football, so you don't know how many more times you're going to get an opportunity to start cutting back in this lead, so you got to take advantage now.
You think we're going to get the Waddell dozer right here. He is lined up in the backfield. The jumbo package, Rhett Davis. And the give and up the middle, and I don't think he got it. It looks like he was stuffed at the line of scrimmage and no gain on the play. And Heritage Hall for the 3rd time tonight is going to turn it over on downs. This time it is deep in the Heritage Hall territory. The first 2, Caleb, were on the Lincoln Christian side of the ball.
Yeah, it's just one of those where I think Heritage Hall felt like they had to take advantage of what they had. And credit to the Bulldogs, they got they got block sheds, and they were right there waiting for Waddell in the hole.
So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball spotted at the 19-yard line. The give is to C.J. Wright, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Bounces. Picks up another 3 yards after initial contact. Seen it all night long. Lincoln Christian with over 300 yards rushing last week against Victory Christian. Also last week, that defense for Lincoln Christian holding Victory Christian to 1 for 14 on 3rd down conversions. So it's a very stout front, defensive front. And boy, that is going to be good enough for another Lincoln Christian 1st down. That was Braden Baker. There's kind of a thunder and lightning situation going on in that backfield.
Yeah, I mean, both these backs have the speed to take it if they get free. It's a rare feat to have running backs that not only can run through you, but also run away from you. And that's what Lincoln Christian has with both their backs in the backfield.
Nice strong run by Braden Baker. Ball down, 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Short gain on the play. Maybe a 1-yard gain there for the Bulldogs. That'll bring us. Actually, they're going to call it no gain on the play. That's going to bring us to a 2nd and 4.
2nd, 3 to go.
The give is to Baker. Oh, and he's hit initially once again. He's hit by Walker Waddell in the backfield, unable to wrap up. I'm sorry, that was not Walker Waddell. Excuse me. He was hit by Carson Phelps initially. right at the line of scrimmage. Now this ball is still going to be at the 3-yard line, so we've got a 3rd and goal to goal from the 3. The give is to Baker, and he's hit strong again. Still fighting, short of the goal line. So this is going to be a 4th down attempt coming up for Lincoln Christian. Ball at about the 1-yard line, maybe about the 1-foot line.
It's a big play here. You know, Lincoln Christian's going to go for a touchdown, makes it a 20-point or 21-point game, excuse me. And a stop for Heritage Hall gets you right back with a chance to cut it to a score.
And he's hit right at the goal line, and there is the indication that's going to be touchdown Lincoln Christian. The Heritage Hall defense did a good job attacking that running game for the first 3 downs of that drive. But right there, the 4th down conversion for Lincoln Christian, increasing the lead now to 27-6.
It's just the running game for Lincoln Christian. We've seen it all night long, daring you to get pressure from your defensive line. And right now, Lincoln Christian just getting a lot of push up front for both C.J. Wright and Braden Baker.
I believe that was Baker on that carry there. So on to attempt the point after. It is up and it is good. 3 minutes and 24 seconds left in the 3rd quarter here in Tulsa. 28 Lincoln. 6 points for the Chargers. Number 1 versus number 2. Lincoln Christian 53 straight home wins here at Willie George Field. You can see why. They're tough. They're tough. And what Lincoln Christian has done a really good job of, you know, from my perspective, and Caleb, I'd like to hear yours, is, you know, Ricky, it's not Ricky that's burned us. The down the field passing that we see from them and the high strike ability, you know, throwing the ball, that hasn't hurt us tonight.
No, and they were very balanced last week. They had about 250 in each category, and tonight they haven't had to throw with Ricky. They haven't had to put ball in Hog's way. You know, they had a fumble and a fumble or interception. We still don't know what to officially rule that. But other than that, it's just been running it right up the middle and trusting that your running backs are going to find space and break free.
So here we are for the ensuing kickoff. Looks like Klein Reuter back deep with Williams. Ball is kicked out of the end zone for the touchback. So Heritage Hall will begin their 7th possession of the night. 2nd possession here in the first half. Turnover on downs last time. 4th and 1, unable to capitalize on it. Had the jumbo package in there. Lincoln Christian did a great job stopping that play at the line of scrimmage. So Heritage Hall will begin this drive. 3 minutes, 24 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. This thing feels like it has flown by. It's still Hudson Ferris. Quarterback draw running right up the middle. He's hit, but a nice gain on the play by Ferris. Pickup of 7 on the play.
I believe that was designed. It may have been where Ferris was looking to the right side, and all of a sudden pressure was there. He had to get out. Great awareness from Ferris there and got positive yards, moving the football, staying on schedule.
And maybe we see Heritage Hall utilize some more of those quarterback runs, if having trouble having our backs, So we need to, open up any lane we can, and maybe we see Heritage Hall utilizing that a little bit more. Quick pass out there, high percentage pass out to Williams. That's going to be good enough for Heritage Hall first down, and that's something we talked about, too, with this win, throwing those high percentage passes.
No, and that's what Heritage Hall loves to do, even without it. They love the wide receiver screens, quick passes, get it to their playmakers, and let them do what they do in space.
So that's good enough for a Heritage Hall first down.
First and 10 Chargers.
Chargers trying to mount any kind of momentum right here, trailing by 22 with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. The give is to Max Everett, looking for some space. Not much there. Maybe pickup of 1 or possibly 2 on the play.
Hudson Ferris, the defender.
Hudson Ferris brought the Max Everett down on that one. Ball's up to the 33-yard line. It's been our Hudson Ferris all the way here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd possession here in the 3rd quarter for the Charger offense. Give is to Everett, looking for some space. One thing I've noticed about these Lincoln Christian defenders is they are very quick to converge.
They are fast in the defensive secondary. They swarm to the guy, just like we said for Heritage Hall. Keeps his game, swarm to the football. Lincoln Christian does that as well, and it's tough to find running lanes when you think you're free, and all of a sudden there's linebackers and defensive backs coming right at you.
So this is going to be a 3rd down and 7 for the Chargers. Big play here. You think once again probably 4-down territory. Hudson Ferris drops back. He's pressured and he's brought down. That's going to be a loss of about 8 yards on the play. The sack on Hudson Ferris, and it looks like Coach Bogert is going to send in the punt team here as Bo Butler runs onto the field, ball all the way back to the 37, 4th and 12.
That was a little stunt by Lincoln Christian. Had the linebacker lined up in a gap between a couple of people on the line and then ran around the edge and got to Ferris in the backfield.
So Bo Butler on to kick it. Kicking from the 20-yard line where he stands. Fair catch caught. Oh, that ball is down, and that touches a Lincoln defender, or Lincoln receiver, excuse me. They were able to fall back on it. So Lincoln Christian is going to start with good field position once again at the 41-yard line. Inside of 30 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. If there's ever a time for this Charger defense to get a stop and get the ball back in the hands and start a run right here, this is when it needs to happen.
Absolutely. You would love a turnover right now. Get momentum, get good field position for your offense.
Heritage Hall defense forced 2 turnovers so far in this game, both in the first half. The give here is to C.J. Wright, looking for space up the middle. Doing a better job of containing C.J. Wright right now is the Heritage Hall defense. Gain of 4 on the play for C.J. Maybe just a gain of 3.
For Heritage Hall. 2nd 7 for Bulldogs.
And that is clock striking 0. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. That was a very quick 3rd quarter all the way around as we move in. Heritage Hall trailing 28-6 as we go into the 4th quarter. You're watching Heritage Hall football right here on the ChargerVision Network.
When you walk into this room, who you have beside you matters. Experience matters. We fight in Oklahoma and around the country, standing toe-to-toe against the most powerful adversaries in the world, and we win. Our record speaks for itself. Our verdicts and settlements speak for themselves, and we want to fight for you. Nix Patterson, Oklahoma attorneys with world-class experience.
And we're back, starting 4th quarter action. We're getting right after it. 2nd and 7 here for Lincoln Christian. Ball sitting at the 45-yard line. There's a fake to the back, and they find a receiver streaking down the middle, or down the field, I say, and that was Hudson Ferris was the intended receiver, covered by Porter England.
Remember that Lincoln Christian ran that play earlier in the game, and it almost worked for a touchdown. It was off the hands of Ferris back in the 1st quarter. But just a little play-action seam route for the Bulldogs.
So it's 4th quarter action here at the campus of Lincoln Christian. Heritage Hall trying to come up with a big stop right here, 3rd and 7. Empty backfield for Lincoln Christian. Ricky drops back, finds a receiver across the middle. That ball is high. Good coverage there by Klein Reuter. So Lincoln Christian is going to send in, and this is going to be, if this holds true, this is going to be their 2nd punt of the game.
Excuse me, Justin,
go ahead.
That's exactly what you need as Heritage Hall. A quick 3 and out. You have this whole 4th quarter to start putting drives together.
Heritage Hall has shown that they've got that quick strike ability and can score quickly. Nice punt there by Ricky. That's going to get a good Lincoln Christian bounce. Hits at about the 21-yard line, bounces back, and it's downed. Looks like at the 15-yard line, maybe the 16-yard line. So Heritage Hall has a long field to go. But they did exactly what they needed to do on the defense, and that is get the quick stop, just as Caleb mentioned. So we'll see if Hudson Ferris can get this offense going down the field here quickly. You don't want to think time is of the factor with 11 minutes left to go, but this is a 22-point deficit right now for the Chargers. Give is to Nash Iser, trying to find room over the right side. Sticks his nose in there and picks up about 4 on the play. Max Everett has got the bulk of the carries from the backfield today for the Charger offense.
And Beisel on the stop for the Bulldogs. Gain of 3 on the play, 2nd 7.
When all these running plays, it just, boy, that time just melts away, doesn't it?
It does, and not sure Heritage Hall can afford to do much more of that. They've got to start putting together some tempo drives.
Hudson Ferris, empty backfield. Looking for set up the screen, throws it to the other direction to Gerard Williams. I think only the third, maybe the third reception for Gerard Williams today, but that one is going to be good enough for Heritage Hall first down.
It's a quick curl route. We talked about those easy throws for your quarterback. And it moves the change for the Chargers.
First down ball up to the 20-yard line. It's been all Hudson Ferris in the second half for Heritage Hall. The fake to Max Everett. Ferris trying to get around to the outside. He's tackled. Good sportsmanship there by Lincoln Christian, but he is tackled after about a 3-yard gain. Ferris is a young man that has kind of that sneaky speed to him.
2nd 7.
If he gets out in the open field, he can outrun a guy. Ferris was a guy that has really bided his time to earn this starting quarterback job, and Ferris is going to be dropped right there for another sack for the Lincoln Christian defense. Loss of about 4 yards on that sack.
Kelly and Caden Clayborough with a quarterback sack.
So like I was saying about Hudson Ferris, as a senior, he had some guys in front of him on the depth chart over the last few years, but he stuck with it and, earned the starting job this year and has done a nice job so far. Been tough sledding today, but that's not on that young man's shoulders. So this is officially going to be a 3rd and 13, ball back at the 24-yard line. Hudson rolling to his left, looking for a receiver downfield, and he has a Rhett Davis and a beautiful catch on the sideline by the big Rhett Davis. And that's going to be good enough for a first down. Nice play there, Caleb.
I mean, a hard throw. You are rolling to your opposite side, a crossbody throw, and just a strike right to Davis on the sideline.
That's a 6'4", 240-pound man going vertical and getting that ball. Rhett Davis is a young man that I saw playing in some 7-on-7s last year, and I was like, who is that big man with the hands? And you saw it right there. Hudson to Davis. Hudson with a lot of pressure in his face, and that ball is going to be picked. That ball floated a little bit on Hudson Ferris over the head of Porter England, and that ball is picked off, able to get the 1 foot inbounds. And so that's going to be a turnover for Heritage, a costly one. Looks like that ball just floated out of the hand just a little bit from Hudson Ferris, intended for Porter England.
Yeah, I was looking you're right, looking for England on the sideline, but just a little too much on it, just out of the reach of England, and the safety was right there ready for it.
So Heritage Hall gives it back to Lincoln Christian. Ball on the 41-yard line of Lincoln. Give is to C.J. Wright. I'm sorry, the fake to C.J. Wright. They're looking for a wide open receiver out there trying to make a move on Porter England. Tracked down by Gerard Williams, but not until the pickup down to about the 19-yard line. Nice play there from the Lincoln Christian offense. Good call there by
40-yard pass play from Carter Rickey to
by Coach Rickey.
Good for a Bulldog. First down.
Everybody was kind of keying on C.J. Wright on that play. He pulled it out and threw it to the wide open receiver, shrieking downfield. Eventually caught by Gerard Williams. Ball sitting, spotted actually at the 20. This give is to C.J. Wright going to the right side, trying to work back to the middle. He's hit initially at the 18-yard line by Carson Phelps. Breaks free a little bit all the way down to about the 13. About a 5-yard gain after contact.
Well, you know, when you use C.J. Wright so much or any of the running backs that Lincoln Christian has, a play action usually has someone wide open like that down the field. They've seen a run game about the whole third quarter, and now you finally decide to pull it.
Pickup of 6 on the play. This is going to be a 2nd and 4 ball down to the 13-yard line. Baker in the backfield now. The give is to Baker. Going to the right side. Finds an opening. Shaking and baking. Oh, boy. And he steps into the end zone untouched. That's going to be touchdown Lincoln Christian. So Lincoln Christian capitalizes on the interception. Puts it in the end zone, and that's going to be a 13-yard touchdown run by Braden Baker. Braden Baker, 3rd touchdown of the night for the Bulldogs. Runs of 1 yard. Another run of 1 yard, and that one a 13-yard touchdown for Braden Baker. So Lincoln Christian pouring it on just a little bit here. 34-6 now, 7 minutes, 44 seconds left in the fourth quarter. On for the extra point attempts. That ball is up, and it is good.
This point after is good. 7:44 left in the fourth quarter.
So the last
35.
few outings here, you know, Heritage Hall, this is the 6-3 overall. This is the 10th meeting between these schools, and Heritage Hall came out and won the first 3 in 2014 in the state semifinals, in 2015 in the state championship game, in 2018 in the state semifinals. And since then, it's been all Lincoln Christian. Lincoln Christian in 2019 in the state semifinals, 33-6. Again in 2020 in the semifinals, besting Heritage Hall 35-27. And then the year following that in the semifinals. I mean, this has been one of those battles that, we talked about this. I don't know if we've talked about it on the broadcast yet. We've talked about it a lot. You know, Coach Bogert has lost 10 games at Heritage Hall. This is starting his 11th season. He's lost 10 games. Did we already say this? I think we did.
I don't think we have.
Yeah, 6 of them have been to Lincoln Christian.
Yeah, it's incredible how, you know, obviously Coach Bogert, very successful at Heritage Hall, but it's just an odd stat that Lincoln Christian just seems to have the number, seems to have the game plan. And, you know, we're talking about where these games are played. Only the second non-playoff game between these two ever. So just a couple of weird stats for this one.
And it's kind of crazy, you know, when you look at it, because on one hand, you're like, it's pretty amazing that you can sit down and count and just remember right off the top of your head who the coaches lost to in 11 years of coaching. Outside of Lincoln Christian, there's been 1 loss to Clinton, 1 loss to John Marshall, 1 loss to Cassia Hall, and once to Millwood. That's it.
Yeah.
Take Lincoln Christian out of the mix. So 6 of the last 8 losses, 6 of our 8 losses since 2018 have come at the hands of Lincoln Christian.
It's just incredible. Like you said, you can count the number of – so we have a –
they'll pass on the flats there, just a little high to Gerard Williams on first down.
The number of teams that he's lost to in his career on one hand. Forgetting about games, just that's an incredible stat. It just shows how good he has been at Heritage Hall.
These 2 teams have accounted for 7 of the last 10 state championships in Class 3A. So, you know, it's what has become a very intense rivalry, you know, and I hope we see more of this regular season action. I mean, Heritage Hall's only 2 losses last year, game number 1 against Lincoln, the last game of the year against Lincoln. So, you know, it's one of those, like I said, it's a rivalry of respect as that ball goes out to Porter England, trying to break free. He's unable to. Pickup of 2 on the play, so this is going to be a 3rd and about 8 for Heritage Hall. But, you know, it's one of those rivalries of respect because you have to give it up to these guys. I mean, they've done it everything that they've needed to do in these games.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, both these coaches so successful, both these teams so successful, and I'm sure we'll see these teams play in the future, whether in the regular season or in the playoffs.
Tegan Lawson's in for Heritage Hall. Nice completion out to Rhett Davis. The ball moves up to about the 34-yard line. That is going to be good enough for a Heritage Hall first down. Nice play from Lawson to Davis. And, we talk about it too, and I can check this stat, but I believe this is the first game we haven't led at some point in the game in the 6 in a row that we've been unsuccessful in. So, and in many of those games there's been a double-digit lead too.
It just shows you how back and forth these teams are. Momentum really swings in these games, especially in rivalry games. That's how big they are.
Lawson looking deep, looking for Porter England. Ball is thrown long. He was defended on the play by Hudson Ferris. Ball falls incomplete, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10, ball at the 34-yard line. 6 minutes, halfway through the fourth quarter here. Heritage Hall trailing by the score of 35-6. It's been all Lincoln Christian in the second half. Heritage Hall tonight scoring on their 5th possession and nothing since. Rhett Davis in motion. Lawson looking for Davis. Finds Porter England on the inside route. That's going to bring out about a third and 3, we'll call it.
It was a tough catch there from England. Caught it, and there was a Bulldog right there that gave him a hard hit, but he held it through contact.
That was something that you noticed, I noticed as well watching the film of Clinton, how, Porter England would just kind of go out there and set in that soft zone. That was a play all night long that just killed that Clinton defense. Tegan Lawson with the pump fake, trying to get outside. He's got a little bit of room. I think he's going to tuck it and try to keep it. Goes lateral right there at the point of contact, and he's going to be dropped for a loss on the play. So this is going to bring up another 4th down attempt for Heritage Hall. There's no way you're going to run out the punting team at this point. So this is going to be a 4th and 4, ball at the 41-yard line.
Make that 4th and 3.
This will be our fourth down attempt of the night. Davis comes in motion. Look for him as the intended receiver. And that ball is thrown underneath to Gerard Williams. It would have been good enough for a first down, but that ball falls incomplete. And there is a flag in the defensive backfield. Flag sitting at the 46-yard line in Lincoln territory. Indicates a pass interference or a defensive holding, and that indication is going to be a pass interference. So Charger offense catches a break there. And that'll be good enough for the automatic first down. And move the ball into Lincoln Christian territory. Heritage Hall starting to go a little quicker here now. You see that tempo pick up just a little bit. Walker Riddell runs off the field. Nash Iser in the backfield joining Tegan Lawson. Fake to Iser. Fake on the end around, and Lawson is hemmed in. And that's going to be a big loss on the play. It's going to be a loss of about 10 on the sack. I believe it's the fifth sack of the night for Lincoln Christian.
Timing was just a little bit off there. Kind of tripped over your running back, then the receiver coming in motion. And when you have those type of plays that you require being on time, it just falls apart. And offensive line can only hold for so long.
Remember, Heritage Hall has a streak of its own going. This is not a district ball game. We just want to remind everybody that. It's not a meaningless game by any means, but it is not a district matchup. It looks like we're going to have an illegal substitution once again. I think those are the little things that would get Brett, get Coach Bogert really fired up. These little these mental things that happen out here. Too many men on the field and stuff like that.
We talked about that before the game. Pre-snap penalties were going to be big. I don't think they've had a full start in this, but 12 men on the field is just as bad as that. So, things to clean up going forward. You learn a lot of these games, especially against high-quality competition.
So we talk about the current winning streak for Lincoln Christian and also the current winning streak at home here for the Bulldogs. Heritage Hall on their own winning streak right now as Lawson drops back and he's hemmed under, and that's going to be another sack. Another big loss on the play. Move Heritage Hall backwards. But Heritage Hall, 80 straight district wins. 80 straight district wins, no losses since 2013. That ranks them number 3 in Oklahoma, only behind Thomas and Tulsa Union. So Heritage Hall by no means. I mean, this is still a season with tons of promise. I mean, this happened again. You know, this happened last year, but you know, has not lost a district game since 2013. I mean, that's an amazing stat.
No, it is. You know, you talk about these type of games. Sometimes these games are good to happen. You learn a lot. You see what you need to fix. You know, you could play teams that maybe are not up to the state championship competition, and you get to the playoffs, and then this happens. Now you learn. Now you know what to expect going forward. And if you face Lincoln Christian again, you know what you got to do in that one.
That was 4th and 25, so Heritage Hall will turn over the ball on downs. Lincoln Christian getting some penetration right there. I apologize. That was third down. Now Heritage Hall will punt it away at 4th and 25. Bo Butler in to take it. So Heritage Hall, let's look up the upcoming a bye week this next week, and then followed by a game versus Millwood. That game is going to be first game at home for Heritage Hall this year. That'll be at the Pop. And then following that, North Rock Creek Cougars and Anadarko Warriors. So district play will start with North Rock Creek. Millwood, a non-district game, but always a good matchup between Heritage Hall and Millwood.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we faced them a lot when I was still in high school. It was always good games between the two. So, you know, it should be a great last non-district game. And
had a barn burner with them last year as well. So off week coming up for Heritage Hall as the give is to C.J. Wright. C.J. Wright still doing what he does. It's going to be a nice gain on the play down into Heritage Hall territory. Ball's going to be down at the 38-yard line. 17-yard gain for Wright on that play. That's a first down for Lincoln Christian as we approach inside 3 minutes here left in this ball game. Heritage Hall still trailing by the score of 35-6. Stick around afterwards, and Caleb and I were going to break down all of the pertinent information and talk about upcoming games here on the Heritage Hall schedule. We will be naming our Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise player of the game coming up. Caleb and I will talk about it, and we'll be announcing that shortly right after the conclusion of this ball game when we come to wrap it up. No interviews tonight, of course, but still want to recognize a good effort out on the field tonight as we approach inside 2 minutes. 2nd and 3 for Lincoln Christian down Heritage Hall 38-yard line. Seven on the play clock. Looks like we're going to have a false start here on the play. So that'll move it back 5 yards for Lincoln.
Dead ball foul. False start against the Bulldogs, 5-yard penalty.
So they'll mark it off here for the Bulldogs. Ball at the 31-yard line, 2nd and 8. The give is to, can't tell if that's Baker or C.J. Wright.
Jay Hunsinger on the run.
Oh, there's a new back in there. Sorry about that.
Pulled down by number 20, Austin King.
So we're going to bring down to the 3rd and 2. It looks like Lincoln Christian is probably content just keeping it on the ground right here.
3rd and 2.
The give once again.
Hunsinger.
It's Gabe Hunsinger. That's going to be good enough for a Lincoln Christian first down. As we move inside the 1 minute mark.
First down.
It's been a tough evening for the Chargers, but not one that we can't bounce back from. We have a great season ahead of us. Next game will be at home. Home opener at the Pop this year. 2 road games to start the season this year for the Chargers. At Clinton last week. We've been road warriors for the first 2 weeks, especially this ChargerVision crew. Up in Tulsa tonight. So we'll be glad to get home and get everything rocking at the Pop. We call it the Pop Factor. It looks like Lincoln Christian is going to be content just taking the knee as the clock winds inside 10 seconds. It's been all Lincoln Christian tonight. Heritage Hall, no doubt, will reset and be ready to go against Millwood here in 2 weeks. Final score here, 35-6. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching Heritage Hall football on the ChargerVision Network.
Joe Cooper Ford has 3 Ford dealerships around the metro to serve Oklahoma better than anyone else. What does having 3 of the best Ford dealerships in the state mean for you? It means 3 times the selection and 3 times the savings, and that's 3 times the service. And Joe guarantees to beat any price in Oklahoma by $500, or he'll give you $10,000. That's why Joe beats the competition 3-1. Who loves Oklahoma?
The elite always work to get better. So every day, we dedicate ourselves to being the best orthopedic surgeons in the country, committed to helping you be your best. No matter where you are or the obstacles you face, we never give up, because it's too important to you and the communities we serve. And for that reason, Saints march on.
And we're back. You see Heritage all on the field right there, Coach Bogert. No doubt giving the nice pep talk to the guys. I'm sure there's a lot of things, Caleb, that he's not going to be happy with that he saw tonight, but nonetheless, it is what it is. I mean, you know, that's what happened tonight. Now you know what you need to fix. Now you know what you need to work on, because there's a pretty good chance we're going to see these guys probably in the semifinals again later on in the season.
You know, these games happen. Sometimes it isn't your night. You know, it is what it is. You're right. You know, you now know what you need to fix. You have a week off. You have one last non-district game, and you've got your district. March your way to the playoffs. Maybe you see Lincoln again. So it's you now have a good opportunity to find your way back if you're in Shaw.
As far as seeding and getting buys and all of that, it's the district games that matter here in high school football. But, you know, we would like to think, or would like to tell Max Everett, Seth Wadley Auto Family Power Promise Player of the Game. And Caleb, what did you see from Max tonight?
I mean, we talked about it early in the game. He's a very patient runner, but when he hits a hole, he hits it hard, and he's got the speed to break away. He was really the driving force on Heritage Hall's scoring drive early in that second quarter, and opened up the play action game, allowed the Heritage Hall to score. But he's a really hard runner. Really put it together tonight, and gave Heritage Hall this great effort on the grounds. And
I think what you and I both saw with Max was, it was tough sledding. It was tough sledding, not just for him, but really for the entire running game as a whole. You had Nash Iser in there as well, getting some carries. You had some quarterback carries, but it was really tough sledding. But what we saw in Max, he just kept running hard. You saw him get patient a couple of times and really wait for that hole to develop, and you just never saw a letdown in him at all tonight.
No, he would always try to find the last hole or try to bounce outside of the last second to get as many yards as he can, but he's also really tough to bring down. So it's just a great overall runner, great effort tonight, and, I assume we'll continue to see him do stuff like this going forward.
It's good to see that Max is in there getting his nose dirty. Like I said, coming into this year, really, with Barrett Travis last year and everything that he did, and got the bulk of all of the work and the record-setting performance that he put in. We really didn't know what we were going to have coming back in the backfield as far as running the football.
No, absolutely, and it's great to have a running back that coming into the season, it was a big unknown. What was the running back room going to be like? Now you have a couple of feasible backs, just like Max Everett, that you can rely on, and that opens up the offense, so much, maybe more than people think. If you have a good ground game that people have to respect, then that opens up your pass game. It's how the offense goes.
So like we said, 1 week off, and then it's the Millwood Falcons coming to the Pop, followed by North Rock Creek, then versus Anadarko, then go to Kingfisher, come back home and play Plainview, have a doubleheader at home at Pauls Valley the next week, then at Purcell, and then ending the season with Star Spencer. So it's that district play following the Millwood game that's really going to matter. And Heritage Hall, like we said, 80 consecutive district victories. Oh, that ranks number 3 in the state. So Heritage Hall will take this week and regroup a little bit, and I'm sure that Coach Bogert will fix the things that he needs to fix. But you chalk this one up, you move on, you understood what happened, and you move on and you go play more football.
Yeah, we've touched on it a couple times. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the other team. They played great. You've got some things to fix. It's okay. It's early in the season. There's growing pains. It always happens. But you have a week off, like we said. You got 2 weeks to get ready for district games, and then you move forward with your season.
Well, the final here, we're gonna call it that. It's Lincoln Christian 35, Heritage Hall 6. Caleb Kalsich, it has been an absolute pleasure to be on the call with you, and we hope we have you here sometime in the very near future when you're in town again. Thank you once again. Justin Evans for Caleb Kalsich and all of the ChargerVision crew. You have been watching a broadcast of Charger football right here on ChargerVision. Thanks so much.